Peter Spence, Joshua Kessler, Lucy Megan Tennyson, and introducing Miss Aaliyah. Music by Commander B and Daddy Ernie. Vibes FM. Compare major popular. Doors open 7 p.m. Showtimes 9 p.m. sharp. Stars of British reggae and gospel live at the world famous Jazz Cafe. Tickets are $17.50, available from the Jazz Cafe hotline 0844 847 2514.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Conscious Partners Network. We are Rockers Corner Radio,
alive.
Reggae Wave Radio,
alive.
Stockade Radio,
alive.
Tornado Radio,
alive.
King the Nubia Radio,
alive.
E2ON Radio,
alive.
Afro-Carib Radio,
alive.
We are raising the awareness of artists across the globe.
Alive.
The Reggae Business Talk Show is a show about knowledge, a show about information, a show where we arm you, the artist, with the tools needed to navigate your way through the music business, the business of music. Sit back and relax and listen. This is the Reggae Business Talk Show on Stockade Promotions Radio.
Galactic vampires killers. Genius scientist Rusty Steele is in his lab, busy sampling his newest invention, a hybrid plant grown on planet Mars he has dubbed Jolly Green Giant that makes everyone who partakes of it filled with love. A folder labeled Top Secret SOS races down a pipe, dropping on the table. For years, the intergalactic vampire has been injecting drugs into the hearts of innocent people. Standing in the way of this evil vampire is a single brave soul, the scientist. The scientist brings nothing more to the table than love of mankind and a talent for reggae beats. But these
You're in tune to Stockade Promotions Radio.
Some may say that mere humans cannot possibly defeat intergalactic vampires, but with a little creativity and a lot of hard work, the dream that the scientist rids the world of evil just might come true. This adventure is explored in the Scientist Reggae album, a music collection containing a story like no other. In the Scientist album, listeners learn of such evil creatures as the intergalactic vampire witch, the intergalactic wolf, and the...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm General Culture.
These terrifying creatures are awful intergalactic...
And you're welcome to the Reggae Business Talk Show. Gonna make an apology for the show not airing 2 weeks ago.
This is not a mission that the scientists...
But we're back today being June 14, 2015. And my panel is here. I'm General Culture. We have the scientist, Lady General Roddy Campbell, Chris, and Dabidoo. Okay, we're going to kick off the show right now. Everybody introduce yourselves, please. Scientist, start off.
Hey, greetings everybody. I'm back again. I'm the original scientist from Jamaica, trying to help out all these artists with their pension.
Lady General.
Yes, greetings everyone. Welcome to the Reggae Biz Talk Show. I am Lady General, co-CEO of Stockade Promotions Radio, and glad to be here.
Roddy Campbell.
Greetings everyone. Welcome again to another Reggae Biz Talk Show. My name is Roddy Campbell, singer-songwriter, composer, station manager for Stockade Radio, a member of the Conscious Partners Network.
Go ahead. Okay, so that was Roddy Campbell. Chris.
Good evening everyone. I'm Chris Hills, and representing with Kofi and myself, we have a small management company and tiny little record label.
Dabidoo.
Yeah, Dabidoo. Anything to do with dub, reggae history, anything like that, you know. What's up, everybody?
And I'm General Culture, the co-CEO of Stockade Radio, Stockade Promotions, Stockade Records, everything Stockade, that's me. We are missing Fitzroy Francis, and he's having some computer problems, and we're gonna do without Fitzroy Francis because we know he's having some technical problems right now. So please forgive Fitzroy for not being here today. He'll be here hopefully in 2 weeks' time when we air the next show. Before we kick this show off, Roddy Campbell, how is your health doing? Because your health was as bad as mine a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, the age thing between you and I, it really not work. I want to find a person who said, boy, getting old is nice and this and that, and I want to kick that person right in the shin because it really don't work. But I'm, by the grace of God, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm getting a lot of rest, and my neck is feeling a lot better.
Okay, amen. Right, Christopher, you're going to kick it off because I come to understand the Reggae Fraternity got together for their second seminar show that they had, the meeting that they normally have up in Brixton. How did that go? Because you're going to give us some updates.
Yeah, it was the second meeting. It was very well attended, and there was a lot of activity and a lot of interaction from the people that were there. They've kindly sent me on a bullet point list of some of the things that came up during the evening.
Okay.
So I'll update people on the way that the fraternity is going. The mission statement and aims and objectives for the fraternity have been finalised, and there's already been 2 standard contracts created for the members to use if they wish. There's a Twitter account that's been opened, and it's gained more than 250 followers in under 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not bad. They're actively promoting artist shows and events through Twitter, as well as passing on music business information. A YouTube channel's been created as well, and I presume is currently hosting 2 video recordings of the artists that performed at the Yvonne Swaby Riley fundraising concert.
Yeah.
So I presume that it's going to be used to for the fraternity members' performances and stuff like that.
Okay, brilliant.
The website development is really going well, and from the meeting and what was explained about it, it's going to be a real hub for UK reggae, because it's going to have a members area which will carry all the necessary information, but there'll also be a public area where pages are going to be created for new releases, shows, and lots of other things, record shops, all manner of things. So, and I think that's the really important hub for the fraternity, where if it gets enough following and it gets promoted properly, then anyone that wants to know about UK reggae can just go to the site.
And give people information as to where they can, if anybody is in the UK and wants to be part of the Reggae Fraternity, how can they do that?
At the moment, the Reggae Fraternity has a group on Facebook. What I'll do is I'll post it in. I'll pass it on to Maureen, and she can post it into the group page.
Okay.
For the Reggae Biz, yeah.
Okay, then. Thanks a lot.
But yeah, they can join through Facebook or join through Twitter, so I'll send the 2 links on. The website's not live yet.
Okay.
So we'll let you know. And a couple of little other things. Coral, the secretary for the fraternity, appeared on TV.
Ben TV, yes.
Yeah, Ben TV, a Sky Channel, to talk about Reggae Fraternity UK, and that went really well. And that's the update as it stands at the moment. It was a great meeting, by the way, because there was a lot of interaction and a lot of feedback.
Yes, I mean,
about how many people were there?
I would suggest probably around about, I'm not good at counting things like this, 30 to 40 people.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, it was definitely around about 30.
And it's gaining a lot of interest.
Yes, there's a lot of interest. But I say one of the things, I do really believe the website is the important thing, not just for the fraternity members, but also for a public point of contact, rather than just relying on Facebook.
Yes, and what we'll be doing here on Stockade Radio is we'll be using Chris to give us the updates from the reggae fraternity, and if there's any information they want to relate to the world, then that's what we're going to be here for. You know, we're here to assist them in any which way we can be there for them. I want to come to our very first guest today, and thank you, Chris, for the update. That's by the way, thank you so much. I want to come to a good friend of mine. He goes by the name of Ibby. Okay, he's somebody whom I've known for a couple of years. We work together, and he's been going through some trials and tribulations to get some sort of information from some artists. I'm going to let him explain what is going on. But just bear with me while I try to make a connection with him. Just bear with me for the meantime. I'm going to play this track by Scientist.
The scientist rids the world of the intergalactic vampires killers. Genius scientist Rusty Steele is in his lab, busy sampling his newest invention, a hybrid plant grown on planet Mars he has dubbed Jolly Green Giant that makes everyone who partakes of it filled with love. A folder labeled Top Secret SOS races down a pipe, dropping on the table. For years, the intergalactic vampire has been injecting drugs into the hearts of innocent people. Standing in the way of this evil vampire is a single brave soul, the scientist. The scientist brings nothing more to the table than love of mankind and a talent for reggae beats. But these tools are more deadly than they appear. Some may say that mere humans cannot possibly defeat intergalactic.
We're just making a connection with Ibby, who resides in the UK.
Scientist rids the world of evil just might come true. This adventure is explored in the science.
Okay, Ibby, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, I want to introduce Ibby, who is our guest today. Just introduce yourself, and you're welcome to Stockade Radio, and thank you for, agreeing to come on the show to tell your story. Just introduce yourself to the massive.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Ibrahim Mirza. I'm originally from Mombasa in Kenya, which is in East Africa.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Pleasure to be on the show as well, General. And to be able to tell you what tribulations I've gone through trying to get an artist to get his royalties off a very big company.
Okay, and you're welcome to the show. Today on this panel, we have the scientists, we have Lady General Roddy Campbell, Christopher Hills, Dobby-Doo. So, yeah.
Let's up, Ibby.
Hello, everybody. Just a quick question, is that the scientist who has made various dub plays which were included in Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's it.
Big respect to you. Big respect to you. I have to say there is a lot of following up there for yourself, and I do hope that you did get royalties out of those games, because they did sell in billions of dollars and pounds.
Well, I had was to bring out my warrior sword that I had parked and ran it up.
Respect to that. The reason I say that is because I work with somebody else who said to me that your music was just lifted off without yourself going and put on the game. So I don't know whether this was true or not, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah, it was true. It was true, and it's going to lead in to show you how you can strengthen your position, because and a lot of people is under this impression that is the record company owns. No, that's not always be the case.
Right, Ibby, tell us your story, my brother.
Basically, 2 years ago, I went to Kenya, visited, and I saw a band who I knew since my days as a youth. And I spoke to the band leader, and I said to him, obviously after he performed his show in a hotel, I said to him, "Oh, I've very nice to see you, and obviously I've bought your records off iTunes." And that was the thing which he said to me, am I actually on iTunes? Is a band on iTunes? And it took me back because I thought, well, it was with their permission because it's their music. They would have known about this. And us as the listeners and fans are buying this music. So one thing led to another. He asked me to come back and check for him because he had being, busy and also not connected in the technological world that we are in. We live in the first world. I had to come back and try and get hold of Apple, who are selling the album on iTunes. That started my journey off here in the UK by phoning them up because there's obviously no contact. I don't know if any one of you has been on the iTunes pages, the Apple pages. There's absolutely no way of contacting their corporate side. So I phoned up the UK branch who said to me, we only deal with customer service. Anything else needs to go through United States. Again, I phoned up time after time. Eventually, I got through somebody through in LA who said to me, we don't actually deal with royalties here. We just keep the servers and archive the stuff. And if you need to get any more information, you need to contact Switzerland. That's where all our accounting is. And then he was kind enough, to be quite honest, to give me a number in Switzerland that I could actually call up. And again, eventually after a few calls, I got through somebody who said to me, number one, they will need to see all the contracts, and obviously the distributor, they recorded with Polydor, will be the one getting the royalties. And the artist needs to sort it out with the distributor or the publisher of the music, so to speak.
They're saying that you have to sort it out with the people who put it up.
That's correct. Because they're trying to say they got the music from Polydor, and it's now between
from Polydor
and Polydor, yeah, to sort out the royalties between them. Alternatively, the other method I heard the guy from Apple advised me was that for any artist to have a company registered in the US, to go and deal with them directly, selling music to them directly. Again, as I say, the guy, the band is not, they're in Africa, they're in a corner of Africa, they perform day to day, they're in no position whatsoever to open up a company in America to try and deal with Apple or anyone of that to be confident,
All right. So, what you want? What's the outcome? What's the outcome you're looking for?
The outcome. I went back to Africa. I spoke to the guy. He's now got his brother who lives in Canada. He left the matter with his brother in Canada to try and chase up Polydor, who the original document with. I think the brother is got.
Okay. Let me ask you: do you have any contract with Polydor?
The original people, yes. I'm just a third party trying to help out the band itself.
Hold on. The questions that I'm going to ask you require yes or no. Right? Do you have any contract with them? No. Okay, let me ask you a different way. Let me reword it. Did you sign anything?
They did, yes. The band.
No. Listen.
Yeah.
Did you? No. Did what I'm gonna ask you only require yes or no? Did you? Did anybody have your signature to anything? You, the individual.
No.
Okay. Are you the singer?
No.
You are not the singer. What was your role?
My role was as a person who knew the band. I grew up in Kenya, listening to their music. I actually know these guys personally, the band leaders.
Okay, let me ask you a different way. Did you have anything to do with the music?
No, sir.
No. All right.
No,
so you did not. Okay. So what's your claim? What's your claim?
My claim is to say these guys who are in Africa in a band.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the band when I went there, and I informed them that I had bought some music off Apple, and if they were getting any royalties.
Okay. I'm not sure if I getting it. What does the band, the people who involved with the music, what do they say about the situation with Apple?
They don't know that the music is being sold on iTunes.
Okay, all right, okay. So the people who created the music don't know that the music is being sold, and you're telling me you are contacting them and telling them that their music being sold in
iTunes,
Apple, or iTunes.
Yes.
All right. And what's your role with these folks?
Are
you a manager?
No, sir. I am just a fan of theirs.
Just a fan. Okay.
I'm just a fan.
It was pretty much a situation with me with Grand Theft Auto. It was a fan who bought the game, recognized me in a video store. Tell me about this game. All right. So here's what have to happen. Okay. So do you know the band personally?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I do.
Okay, you know the band. Do you know if they're signed in a contract?
Yes.
They did sign a contract?
Yes. Initially, yes. In 1987, when they recorded.
All right. So I don't know what's in the contract. But if they and who did they sign a contract with? With a record company?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. So more unlikely, the record company is going to say, if they did sign it, that they did have right, and the only person who can bring suit is the band, unless the band signed power of attorney to somebody to bring suit. So what you have to do, you have to make sure that the band did sign a contract or didn't sign a contract. If the band didn't sign a contract, then what the band has to do is to notify the people in iTunes and say cease and desist, because this is my intellectual property. Once the record company don't have any signature, and then this is where the Berne Convention comes in, right? Where the band who created the music is a default owner, and not the record company, and that's the person based on the Berne Convention who can give our authorized copy or sale of any kind of a derivative from it, not the record company.
Would it be wise for us to maybe see if we can get a copy of that contract?
Yes.
Well,
and would it be something that we could talk about on air without jeopardizing something?
Yeah.
Well, well, it's kind of let's not say that now. But yes, I would say we would need to make the band personally talk to us, hear what's said, and to see if there's a contract that's enforced. Because if there's no contract, then automatically it's a violation. You will get the type of argument that you're getting from iTunes or whoever I've been talking to, because as you declare to me, you are not a manager, and they're going to tell you that what they've been telling you. So
also, Mike, I have a question. Does the band have a copy of the contract?
Yes, they should do. The band leader is still there. So I plan to go back to Africa maybe in about 3 weeks, and hopefully I will see him then. And whatever advice you guys give me, I'll go and pass it on to them as well.
Okay.
The reason why I'm asking if the band has a contract, based on what I'm listening to or I'm hearing on the band itself, not fully understanding how this whole business works. There are times when, someone, a musician or band will say, well, we sign a contract with somebody, but that person have a copy of the contract, but the band or the musicians or the singers, they don't. That's why I'm asking if the band has a legitimate or a legal copy of that contract.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And what's the answer to that?
I think you said yes. But obviously I have to check 100%.
Yes, you have to confirm that.
Which will be...
I would love for you to offer them an invitation onto this show so that we can have further discussions with them, so that we can ascertain where they're at and what they have done. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, if there was a signed contract, was it one person from the band who signed the contract, or everybody in the band?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So all of that needs to be confirmed.
That's what's important. Because here's why. If it's one person, like they would go to the singer to sign a contract usually, and the singer is not the leader of the band, or the band doesn't have anything that says that the singer has any legal permission to sign, and then the majority behalf, then that contract can be overturned.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
So that's why it's valid.
So Ibby, when you approached Apple, what was the final word they said to you?
Finally, they basically threw me back at base one, saying the artist needs to contact the publisher, and it's exactly what the panel was saying, in the lines of what was the contract about.
Yeah.
And as I said to you, another option they gave me was to open up a company registered in the US.
When you talk to them, who did you tell them you are to the band? Did you tell them? Did they ask you if you were a manager or something like that?
No, they didn't. I just say to them, I'm a person who purchased this music off, and I know this band properly, and
they're gonna give you that argument. They're gonna give you that argument. It's a different argument if the band the artist come and say, "Hey, this is me. This is my pseudonym. I don't give anybody any right, no permission to use my likeness, name, and image, and I want it removed."
That's right.
That's different. If the fan is under assumption that the fan probably, doesn't know the full story.
Well, in other words, where Baby's concerned right now, as far as they're concerned, kind of like, and I hate to put it this way, that Baby don't have any leg to stand on as far as this whole issue is concerned.
Yeah, that's why they're dealing with him. Like, what can happen? The band can sign. I don't know what your expertise are, but the band can sign power of attorney to you.
That's interesting.
To represent them or go seek counsel or so forth. Because a lot of time these bands are talented, or these musicians are talented, but they academically not smart or know the business side of it. So if you're business savvy and it's something that you like, then that's the way you go about it. You really do have a leg to stand on, as what's his name already says. If you don't have the documentation of the band to represent them or ask questions.
Yeah, Baby's position right now with that particular band, because remember, you're not dealing with one individual, you're dealing with an entire band. And this is why, as I asked previously, did the entire band sign the contract, or did one person from the band represent the entire band? Because keep in mind, if one person represents the entire band, remember, band members change all the time.
Right.
Right. So based on that, it's tricky. So we have to get whoever signed the contract with them, if they can come, if we can, they want to be a part of the show, so we can get a little bit further in depth. Because right now, what we're hearing right now, to me, it's a little bit shallowy. I'm not hearing anything in terms of a foundation.
Yeah, and then the next thing is, how popular is this band in iTunes? Are they selling a lot?
I don't know, to be quite honest, but
the reason why I ask you that, a lot of people is under this thing that when you put something into iTunes, it just sells and it just sells it, because if nobody know that this particular ketchup or this particular whatever is in the supermarket, then it's not going to sell. You have to let people know that this thing is available. Not unless it's like brand name artists like Bob Marley, where people going out and searching Bob Marley every day, then that song might get recognized. And the reason for that argument too, if it's only one copy sell, then what's the damages?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What is the name of the band, baby?
Mombasa Roots. So,
Sorry?
Mombasa. As in
Mombasa
in Kenya.
Mombasa.
Mombasa.
M-O-M-B-A.
Mombasa.
Mombasa. What's the other word?
Root.
Root?
R-O. Yes, root.
Root, R-O-O-T?
O-T-S.
Yes. Now, the reason I'm asking, because I'm going to go look them up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Ibby, when you go to Kenya in a few weeks' time, offer them an invitation to come onto the show, and we'll be able to dissect it a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Preferably the person who did sign that contract.
Yes. The current band member. Let me ask you, what was the name of the record company again?
It was Polydor.
Polydor.
Well, Polydor, from what I understand, is a pretty reputable company, and I don't think them was going to run the risk of putting out something without a contract, because it's very likely that they have a enforceable contract while they even do it. And then again, if it's Polydor do it, they might put some kind of a way of call it promotion behind it, muscle behind it to get it sell. So it's very important to get the feedback from the band. And you're saying the band doesn't know anything about it?
Yeah. Like the band leader.
That's strange. That's strange.
So what are they?
Hold up.
That's strange that the band. Yeah, because if it's Polydor, and they have a contract. Usually, the contract on have a schedule for royalty payment. And even if it's no payment, somebody should have gotten some notice that in 1 year or 1 year you only make zero. So it's kind of what creating a hole in the argument.
Yeah,
that Polydor would put themselves at risk. For a lawsuit for a song that probably don't even sell one.
I'm hoping they haven't signed their life away.
Yeah.
As you were saying about the power of attorney, I'm thinking maybe somebody in there go in and say, I will take care of everything legally.
Well, don't take power of attorney. One of the problems that artists do is, or what the responsible people take up is power of attorney, and you don't know what you're doing or what the argument is, So you only do power of attorney if you have good knowledge of the business. Or you take some time out to study the business, or you go and just probably take power of attorney to find a lawyer. And after that, you turn to or else if you don't know the correct argument to put in front of these people, then, what
will give it a run around.
Can I just come in for a minute, guys? Can I just pop in for a minute? Because from the outside, listening to everything, maybe you need to find out from the band if they had a representative or a publisher that acted around that song, the songs in question, who acted as the intermediary with Polydor to get the thing released, because there might well be income collected that's going back to that third party rather than back to the band directly.
Again, based on the nature of Polydor, is not a small company, and is more than likely that they're going to adhere to certain professional standard, and more likely that their lawyers is going to put schedule for royalty payment and so forth. because that's basically the way all those type of record company does business. You have a schedule for royalty, publishing, and so forth. So as what Coffee said, Chris says that there might be a third party involved. It's strange to believe that a third party might be involved to collect the publishing, right? And then the publisher is not sending the money to somebody in the band, and then it raises a question if it's one individual in the band collecting all the money, and then the rest of the band members not knowing about it.
That's why I asked the question earlier.
Yeah, right. Now I can answer the reason for Roddy's question. And what band member did you talk to? Did you just talk to somebody who claimed they were a band member? Are they what is it? Because that's where Roddy question comes in. Who did you talk to?
I spoke to, there were three brothers who started this band.
Yeah, but what's his role in the band?
He's the band leader.
He's the band leader. And the band leader is saying that he hasn't getting a royalty statement, no third party ever contacted him, zero money, no statement, no paperwork, and he didn't know anything about it.
Yep.
Wow. That's strange. It would be good to see if Polydor, put themselves at risk for a lawsuit with a no-name band.
Baby, is the band from Kenya? Sorry, scientist. Is the band from Kenya?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm looking at your page right now.
And what kind of following?
Mombasa Roots are a Kenyan Afro pop, hotel pop music group. They have recorded some of the most successful hit singles in Kenya pop music, such as Disco, Chaka, Chakacha, and Kata. Their most famous. Their most famous album is Lee Mama.
Send the link. I don't see the link.
Hold on, I just googled.
But see, this would.
Well, I've got their Facebook.
This would strengthen what I was saying, because if in fact what Roddy just read and all of that, they have bestseller, blah blah blah, something, all of that stuff there. Well, then at least I should at least sell 100 copies. And if you're telling me that 100 copies sell, and the band leader telling you he knows nothing about it, then it's showing if in fact that is true.
Let me read for everybody a little bit of history on the band, because this is not a new band. This is an old band. The band was founded in 1977 by the Fuma brothers from Mombasa. Solman Juma, keyboards, vocals. Sahid Juma, band manager. And Ibrahim Juma, guitar. They were later joined by Mahmoud Siraj, guitar and vocals. Hassan Malambu, the trumpet and vocals. Tamrat Kabidi, drums, and a fourth Juma brother, Hamed, guitar, saxophone, vocals. The band played live throughout Kenya, achieving a great popularity. In 1989, they recorded for Polygram their debut album, MSA Mombasa, from which hit singles Disco, Chakacha, and Kata were taken. As many Kenyan bands, Mombasa Roots mostly played live in great hotels. This gave them some popularity among the European and American tourists and foreigners in general, as well as opportunity to play abroad, most notable in Germany, Switzerland, Canada, Dubai, and Oman. In 1999, they recorded a successful CD, Lee Mama, that included some tracks from Mesa Mombasa as well as previously unreleased material. Despite their success, Mombasa Roots experienced much personal rotation. Most of the founding members left between in the 1980s and the 1990s. Drummer Katibi relocated to Sweden. Trumpeter Malambu left the music business. Mahmoud Siraj moved to another band, and Sahid bought a farm. In 1990 also, Ahmed Jumar left the band and moved to the United States to study as a sound engineer. When he returned to Kenya, he founded one of the first digital recording studios in the country, Cynic Studios. Sulman, founded leader of Mombasa Roots, left in 2005 and went to live in Canada. All these were replaced over the years by a number of other musicians, including Jackie Freeman, Salim Karam, Hassan Swali, Mohammed, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing some of these words. So the reason why I asked the question earlier is about the band and who signed what. As band members change, so it seems as if to me most of the original brothers or members of the band left the band. So it's all new members that are in the band. Who signed the contract?
Yes, will probably be the original brothers, because they were the driving force, to my knowledge, in that band. Ahmed passed away anyway, although he said he came back and he started studio. He did that, but unfortunately a few years ago he passed away. God rest his soul. The matter is now left with Suleiman. When I mentioned there's a band member in Canada who's going to be dealing with trying to sort out the paperwork. I believe Ibrahim and Suleiman are now in contact to try and sort out the contracts and who originally signed them. So it would be best, I think, to get the numbers, as I say, when I go back to Kenya, and arrange them to speak to the panel and see where they stand and what they have and how they can go forward, if in any way possible.
Because from what I'm hearing, this has been a very successful band who doesn't seem to be getting anything off of anything from anything.
Well, Michael Jackson said it, you know. Michael Jackson said the same thing. If you look on that last interview, this thing is widespread, and then this is only go to strengthen what we've been telling people all along. Because what usually happens is the bands them don't really have any good representative. The whole thing becomes a body thing where lawyers is committing fraud on the behalf of the record companies and writing contract around the Berne Convention and all of this stuff. So if in fact a reputable company like the one that you mentioned there, Polygraph usually put these things in place. If in fact what he's saying that the current person that he spoke to is a band member, and is it the same, the band leader, and is it the same band leader going back originally?
Yes.
Okay, and the band leader hasn't changed. The band leader hasn't changed, and he's telling you, if in fact what he's telling you is true, then it more strengthens our point that these things exist. And then again, I wonder if Polydor went to the extreme to get them to have an attorney when they must sign the contract.
Okay, so here's something interesting. Polygram was sold to Seagram, which is owned by MCA.
MCA, which MCA? That would sound like the mechanical copyright protection. That would be a big interesting.
No, which was so MCA, which was a record company. The newly merged company was named. Well, in 1999, Polygram was sold to Seagram, which owned MCA. The newly merged company was named Universal Music Group, or UMG.
Right. So what probably happened is a lot of time when these companies get transferred, when they don't have proper representative, right? To follow up, probably Universal. I don't know if these guys moved. Probably Universal looking for them to give them a check or something, but so they kind of need to call Universal and say, hey, this is me. Why we haven't gotten a check? What's going on?
Now, but here it gets even more interesting. Universal Group, or when the new company faced financial difficulties, its parent Seagram was sold in large part to Vivendi, Vivendi, and for a brief time the company was known as Universal Vivendi, or in some instances Vivendi Universal. Vivendi is the present owner of UMG. So there's a paper trail here. As they say, follow the money.
Yeah, but something else I want to point out. Every time a record company gets sold, a portion of that is supposed to go back towards the artist them, because they, and again it depends on what them put into the thing, because it was a licensing deal. Yeah, it was a licensing deal, right? And then the record company, and then Chris, you probably could echo on this. So you had your company, Chris, right?
Yeah.
And you had licensing deal with some artists or some label.
Yep.
You sold hypothetically the company say 100,000. Right? You sold the company say for 100,000. You can't really sell something if it's just a licensing deal you have. And
No,
you're
you
taking
can't.
money.
You've got to get permission from the copyright holders to reassign.
To reassign rights. So I'll go back to what the contract says. More unlikely what's going to happen. These lawyers, they know what the Berne Convention says. They know undoubtedly what the Berne Convention says, right? So more likely that the lawyer is going to write some contract around what the Berne Convention says that the artist has to give reassign rights.
However, they might put into the contract that they've got, one of the small print clauses that they can reassign at any time. If that's in the contract and the contract's been signed without it being crossed out, it would have been shoved all over the place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, more likely that's what these lawyers are going to do to make it look like they're doing something very good for your clients. Greedy asses. Yeah. So yeah, it all boils back to contract. Is an interesting concept to see what goes on with a company like. And again, if you notice, they all these companies selling, and it seems to be just one person buying up something that is not working. It's very strange that I'm buying a business that's failing in money.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I tell you what I want to do. I'm going to draw this conversation to a close because I'm hoping Ibby will come back with some good information that these guys will appear on our show so that we can get further information and be able to give you some proper information. That could hopefully ultimately help these guys, because they are a foundation group, and I'm wondering if they've received anything whatsoever. So I want to thank Ibby again.
Your name, Rudy. Tell them to contact Universal and get the current, because Universal probably looking for them. Do have their address and file, or they probably move or something along that line. So the first step is to contact Universal.
Ibby.
What I would suggest that Ibby do is because he seems to be very close to these guys. What Ibby should do is speak to the person. Just deal with one person who signed the contract, and does that person have a copy of the contract? And then we can go from there.
I hope that helps, Ibby.
He does. Thank you very, very much, and he will go such a long way to helping them as well. I hope so. Even if it's just a finality, somewhere in the other end of the world, another artist and another producer and whatnot is looking into what they're doing as well. It's just being together, the unity, the oneness of it all.
Yeah.
That's what the show is all about.
Yes, respect to you all.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for appearing. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Much love, baby.
Much love. Much
Take care.
respect. Big up.
Yeah.
Bless.
All right. So that was Ibby all the way from the UK. And I want to thank him for appearing on the show. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call upon Echo Minott, and he's going to be our second guest who's going to appear on the show. I'm trying to see how I can end this one. Okay, I'm just ending it. Take a listen to this track by Echo Minott. When he first started in the industry, he was known as Noel Phillips. Well, that's his real name. Okay, Noel Phillips is called Youth Man, taking you back to the days of King Jammies.
Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Youth man.
Yeah, but
We're calling upon Echo Minott.
It's time to you to know your day.
yeah, that's not jamming.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say that it's like that's not jammies, man.
We shall discuss that.
Listen, I was gonna say the same thing. I know a tubby, and I know a scientist. I know jammies. That's not jammies. That's not jammies. And jammies out there, you listening? Stop talking about tubbies and all this history because you buying. Tubby's own a radio station. That's not true. He never actually had a radio station. So jammies need to quit, yo.
I need to stop with the bush. Hey,
It's ridiculous.
Take my credits.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, enough already.
When I mix way more albums than King Tubby's himself. I don't get it.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
Does not compute right there.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get hold of Echo Minott. So while we try to get hold of him, take a listen to the track.
That sounds like a nice sound effect for the mix. Hey, every time I turn around, every single time I turn around,
that reverb too again, man.
Hey, that reverb, that's that jammy. I'm telling you, the princess. I'm telling you, he couldn't even touch the board. And it was a big team. It was a big team going on the mute, bro.
So come along, youth man. So come along, youth man.
Okay, we're still trying to get a hold of Echo Minott. For some reason, we're unable to get a hold of Echo Minott. So what I'm going to do is see if I can get a hold of my next guest, who is called Rayven. So once again, I'm just going to play this track one more time while I'm multitasking in the background. Just take a listen to Echo Minott one more time.
Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Youth man. Youth man. Youth man. It's time to you to know your day. The youths are today. The youths are today. The youth is the man of tomorrow. Them chuck it today. Them chuck it today. Them chuck it with the bucket tomorrow. It's time for we to leave at the wall. It's time for we.
So once again, we're going to see if we can get a hold of Rayven.
So come along, youth man. So come along, youth man. So let's live together. Youth man.
Okay, we're not getting any answer from Rayven. What a thing.
The youths are today. The youths are today. The youths are today.
Try echo again.
The youth man.
We're sorry, but your call cannot be completed as that.
General just dubbing it up.
Say that again.
I said you like dubbing it up, throwing something. throwing the telephone in there, like mashing it up.
Right.
The wicked mix.
I tell you what, let's see if we can get hold of Echo Minott.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, the youth of today, the youth of today, the youth is the man of tomorrow. Them chuck it today, them chuck it today. Choke it today, keep the bucket tomorrow.
Okay, we're trying to get hold of our guests, and it's been pretty difficult to get hold of them for some reason. This Skype is just not letting us get through. So while I try to multitask in the background, you guys just talk amongst yourself like you normally do. All right, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me, ladies and gents. All right, tell me what's going on with the YouTube, Chris.
Oh, what? You want an update on that? It's all. Everything's been pulled down.
Are you
nice,
joking?
clean. They've done everything that I asked them to do.
Okay, that's great.
So
that was way too easy.
Sorry, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I mean, I had to wait because they were contacting the publisher that wasn't the publisher, and there was no response from them. And it was just last week that I had a message back that everything has been pulled down now.
Awesome.
I don't mean it wasn't easy for you to get it done. I mean it was too easy for them to agree to do it. Something's not right.
Yeah, well, you know, we said this, haven't we? That they hide behind a third party.
Right.
You know, they're saying that so and so published it, and they then contacted the publisher, and the publisher didn't respond.
What YouTube did was to smartly open a radio station. It should be looked at as a radio station, and it's causing so much harm where they allow disc jockeys from all over the world basically to put up whatever content. Yeah. And then you have all these software where you can rip music from YouTube and all that stuff there. They need to be looked at as a radio station.
No, that's even with the Jah Life album, the newest one, the dub album they didn't want you to hear in Scientists. As soon as it was released, somebody went and put it on YouTube. And then for everybody who doesn't want to pay for the album, I'll just go listen to it on YouTube, and if I want it that bad, then I'll just burn it. You know?
I would just burn it without the people.
And that's what I told you last time. When I threw mine up on YouTube, I made sure they were really low quality. So if you want to steal that, be my guest, man. You know?
Yeah, so YouTube, but you see, the way they write up the contract when you're submitting it, they're saying that you own it, so forth. But if I have selling cars and I have a car dealership and I sell used cars, I have to make sure that whoever calls me have legitimate right to sell my car.
That's the thing. And too, I was gonna say when the guy was on the phone, Apple, I see a lot of people reporting iTunes and saying they never get their sales from it. Some people probably are just delusional and say, oh, my album's sold bigger. But some people said, like, I know my brethren bought the album, I never even got $10-20 from it because they just never gave it to me. And also, I know a lot of these third-party aggregators, they have deals with it. Chris said that. If they get you to Spotify, get you to YouTube, and get you to Google Play and all these places, that they're making deals behind your back just to get you on there, and then you're getting a penny. And like I said, these artists sit there and share their own YouTube links that's from other people, and they don't know you're getting not even a penny from that. Basically, you're promoting yourself and you're getting ripped off at the same time.
It's a double-edged sword.
There you go.
It's a double-edged sword, and it's why we're saying if there were some way to convert the publicity back to the artist's website, then it might not be so much of a bad thing. Because, like I said, I go to a venue and I will see a guy, a vendor, some kind of a vendor, have a bunch of Scientist CDs selling. When I look at him and I look at his vehicle, that guy is not really selling hundreds of thousands or selling 1,000. Him using the money to feed himself and his family.
Yeah.
So I look at it. Well, then him sell it to 10 people. Well, 10 people who never know about me know about me. So I count that as an advertisement for me.
That's exactly right. Because, like I said, even with this record I just did, a lot of people didn't know about this guy who did the DJ and the singer. And so, anytime you're doing projects with people, you're spreading out. But you also shouldn't just go get ripped off. Like you said, this guy wants to sell a couple copies, cool. But when somebody wants to go now and press it or start selling off many copies, thousands, 2,000 copies, and you're making a lot of money and you're not sharing it in how you're supposed to, ripping off people. Like the guy, I don't want to say him again, but there's a record guy in Canada, and he basically come down here, take records, and then go up there and reissue them through Canada. And you can't do that. And it's all the same King Tubbies and scientists. No, this guy's notorious. We mentioned him last time, and just because I want to be respectful, not mention names because general, and they've mentioned me before. But this guy is just straight up stealing. He come down to New York, grab records in his van, and go back up to Canada and reissue them.
You mean that goddamn? You mean that damn criminal? Look here, man. He needs to stop it. Because me and him are having big problems right now.
They just did it again. They just did it again. They reissued, and not just you, King Tubbies, the Bunny Lee stuff. And Bunny told him last time he need to stop. He reissued a 7x7x7 of Tubbies, and it's Bunny Lee's stuff, and he doesn't have the right to reissue it because he got the rights through. I don't want to say his name, but he got the rights illegally. He shouldn't have them.
But he's counting on the fact that he bought something from the deceased wife.
It's ridiculous.
You can't buy something from the deceased wife. If somebody own a car, right, and the husband and wife, and the title was in the husband's name, the wife in certain states can't just set like this.
Well, and also is he registered in Tommy McCook and all these great musicians he states? We probably not. If he's just reissuing it, no way.
Yeah.
He's from Canada.
Yeah. Well, that's where he's headed.
Yeah, the pirate is in Canada.
And that's where he stations himself, supposedly.
Yeah, but
he's notorious in every record shop in New York. People know him, notorious. Excuse me, sorry.
Allô?
Echo.
Allô? Allô? Allô?
Echo.
Non, vous faites une erreur là.
Oh Lord. All right, we can't get hold of him right now.
Yeah, but he been notorious. He been notorious for doing that, and I've been doing it for years. And it's because nobody don't really call him.
Is he a dreadlocks?
No man, that fuck. Him have a Bible name, Ibrahim. Please.
Okay.
And the thing is, he's notorious in New York. And the thing is, Bunny the Lee. One of the last times I talked to Bunny Lee, he said he has to stop because we asked him, "Do you have a contract with him or anything?" And he said, "No."
He do have no contract, and he's
one. Go after him. You have to go after him.
Well, they tried. He hid himself under two different companies because he bought one company and then he have a different company and he go back and forth between the two. One's in California supposedly, his is in Canada, and he go back and forth between them. Really shoot different stuff under different names.
Okay, so you may not be able to call his name. What's the name of?
I'm gonna call a guy up.
Company.
Who?
Ibrahim Records.
Yeah, in Clock Tower, and he assumed Clock Tower.
Yeah.
And he reissued through both. And the thing is, Ernie B, God bless you, Ernie B. You think you're trying to do the best, but you're selling illegal stuff right now. You have to stop. Okay, Ernie, I love you. I've gotten some great records from you, but Ernie B, you're selling illegal products in some way, and you have to stop. Just because it says Clock Tower on it and it says a reissue doesn't mean you can sell it in your store again. And he'll probably come out and say this and that, but he's selling, and a lot of companies out there are selling stuff that's illegal, even iTunes. Enough respect to everybody doing their thing, but they're ripping people off in some way because these King Tubbies and scientists and all these great artists, Jackie Edwards, name them. Don't have to be just dub. Everybody's getting ripped off,
It's an ongoing thing. And one of the things that we're talking about I need to set up is a strong lawyer for the artist. What we have going on is lawyers for record company and executives, and they just twist the contract in the name of the corporations.
I had a thought the other night. I said you should get a lawyer that we can get on our side in each country. We all have links. Ruddy, you in Canada, some of us in USA. Get a lawyer in every country possible who we can actually trust and start saying, you guys need to get together and help us and have a network so you can say, hey, if somebody is getting ripped off among people, we can help them out.
Well, the Berne Convention, they say the Berne Convention been kept as a big secret, and not even a bunch of old liars don't even know about it. America just signed the treaty.
Yeah.
So what needs to get enforced is the Berne Convention.
Well, and the thing is too, with all these articles about Spotify and this and that, and like a win for the artists, but now you know that they're ripping you off. It needs to stop. They should issue everybody an apology who's been going through them. Make sure who needs to get the money that hasn't been paid, because now they've admitted that they aren't sharing out fairly. You know, it's becoming in Congress, and Congress trying to push it here in America. Well, now it needs to go out everywhere and say, hey, if you're an artist right now, don't keep on letting yourself get ripped off, because you get ripped off.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's continue with the next subject, which we were supposed to talk about: lawyer representation for artists.
Well, that's a good point, I think, right there, is getting a bunch of lawyers together, you know? Somebody needs to represent everybody in one big circle, and everybody needs to be connected, you know? Not just one Jaria or JCap for related or ASCAP for one company. Everybody needs to be on one side and say we're doing this for the artists who we love, because there's enough lawyers out there who love reggae just as much as us, and they could help us out in this situation, say, hey, I know somebody in Canada, I know somebody, you know?
And what is the process right now? Is it just that each artist would individually try to find a lawyer that could represent their interests?
Well, you know, the way it's set up based on in the state, it's set up based as jurisdiction, and it depends where the violation going on. So, what I think need to happen, the Berne Convention, just like how they set up that, they need to have a set of lawyers in that represent each country.
Yeah, and that's
they're the one who set it up.
And that's exactly right.
You know, lawyers always have no next lawyer who they could refer, so who they could use as a referral. So under the Berne Convention, for each country that sign up with the treaty, they need to have a law firms that they hire that would go out and represent these artists, because everything and all the laws is coming through the Berne Convention, and they're the one pretty much who wrote the law.
Yeah.
So this Berne Convention, for the public that doesn't know, is a global treaty that is signed by participating countries, correct?
It's one of the biggest kept secret that I expose. Have you heard about it before I talked to you about it?
No.
Actually, no.
Yeah, I talked to many lawyers, so-called big entertainment lawyers, and he said the Berne and they said, who? They never heard of it before. And then I could see the reason why they never heard of it before in America, because America just signed the treaty.
Well, it's probably maybe an international lawyer would have heard of it, an international entertainment lawyer.
Well, yes, a bunch of lawyers they know about it, but again, this is like a big hush hush. It's been around.
Why is that?
Well, tell people what protections it holds, scientists. Tell the people in case they don't know.
The Berne Convention set up treaties around all the different countries around the world. It pretty much enforcing intellectual property right. And one of the things that they enforce is that the creator of the work is the first owner of the work. Not the record company, never the producer who puts up the money. Not like that. What lawyers do is write contracts around the Berne Convention that says the record company now own your product, because the Berne Convention demands that in order for the artist, the person who first create the work, the only way that person lose ownership by it is in writing, and automatically ownership rights assigned to the person who created it.
That's what I'm telling you. It's most musicians. It's not just the lawyers too who don't know about it, but like musicians, they don't know that they own their music so much. You know, like even scientists turn me on to a bunch of stuff. Like, you listen, if you create something, you own it, and you can never, unless, like you said, you actually write it away. So like even a producer I worked with recently, he kept on saying, well, I'm not regular producer, I don't pay you, and then think I own everything. I said, you don't own everything. You don't own everything. Even if you pay me $1 million for my mixes, which you didn't, you still don't own what I created. If you put lyrics on top of my thing, you own your lyrics. You can own your lyrics, but you don't own my rhythm, and you don't own my song. You own the lyrics.
Right. But a lot of people is not aware of this. They believe that when they go into the studio, and the producer pay them whatever they pay them, then
Hello?
Well, this is all based
Sorry,
upon...
guys, one
somebody's
second.
on the
Hold on. Sorry. Rayven, are you there?
Yes, this is Rayven Amani.
Amen. Oh, God, we got through to her.
we surrounded now. Two
All right.
females on the show.
I tell you what, we're going to put our last subject on hold, and we're going to...
You better watch it. You better watch it, scientists, because they're two very strong females.
I don't like pretty weak women or pretty dumb women.
Hey, behave yourself.
Don't start.
Rayven, I want to introduce you to the family. This is the Stockade family, and we have the scientists, we have Lady General, we have Roddy Campbell, Christopher Hills, and Dubby Doo. And I'm General Culture. I want to welcome you to our show, the Reggae Beast Talk Show. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much, and I'm happy that all the technicalities are sorted out, and I'm here live. Yes.
Amen.
Welcome, Rayven.
Now, it was Christopher that told us about you, and he pretty much raised the awareness of what you were doing. I want to come to Chris just very quickly. Why did you tell us about Rayven Amani?
Well, Ray was being interviewed on a radio show in Jamaica, Errol Smith's show, and she was talking about the big band, the school band project that she's created and had been running for many years.
Right.
But at the end of the conversation, Ray said that she's starting to work with artists and Jaria, is that correct, Ray? About artist rights and helping them along the line. So I thought that with Ray being on the ground in Jamaica, it would be great to have her, seeing that we talk about Jamaica so much.
Well, Rayven, tell us about yourself.
Okay, I would consider a multifaceted music entrepreneur, meaning that I am in several aspects of the entertainment business here.
Yeah.
I am a recording artist, a songwriter, and I've created and is producing a high school band program / competition that with high schools from across Jamaica, taking them to, it's basically a platform for them where we have events where they perform.
Right.
They are also mentored by some of our veteran musicians, and we have workshops where they're made aware of the business aspect of the arts.
And I guess the business aspect of the arts is something, would you say, is lacking right now, or?
Right, very much so. Even recently, I was watching an interview where there was a songwriter complaining about how he wrote some songs for an artist and he's not getting anything, and the artist, he was expecting the artist to be loyal and to be giving him returns from the music, and he's not getting anything because the artist is ungrateful and the artist switched and all these complaints. And I'm like, if you had known about your rights and to go about it in the correct way from the beginning, we wouldn't be having this problem, you know.
Yeah. It's such a sad story when we hear, the stories of, all the foundation artists of the past who went through similar trials and tribulations, in terms of the same thing. With the young youths nowadays, like you rightly said, there's a lack of knowledge, which again, leaves themselves open for this kind of thing to happen, for them to be used and abused. So we have to, thank you big time for doing what you're doing. How are people receiving what you're doing so far?
So far, there's still more emphasis on the competition side of things. When we talk about having workshops, the interest is not as great as when we're talking about having events and shows for them to perform and all that stuff. So it's still a struggle where we're emphasizing that there is need to get educated about the business. But as it is said, when it is time for performance and stage shows, as artists and performers, we all show up. But when it's time to get educated about the business, then we still find that it's a struggle to get people interested in that side of it.
I don't want to be greedy. I want to come to the scientists. Any questions for Rayven?
Yes, I hear just talking about a songwriter. You say wrote a song for artists. and then the artist is not being loyal, and then the artist is not giving the songwriter any money. That's what you said?
Yeah, that was the complaint.
Well, that's not the what the songwriter need to do. The person who wrote the song. And when you say the person who wrote the song, you're talking about the person who wrote the lyrics?
Lyrics, yes.
Yeah. So what that person needs to do is he needs to register it with JCAP if he's in Jamaica.
Right.
And then
Right.
JCAP is the one who is supposed to pay him directly. Now, what he also need to do is to see if the artist register the song to himself as the writer.
Right. That's what we're saying. The information, that kind of information, needs to get out there more. I don't know if it is JCAP who needs to be more visible or find different information out there. But I find that a lot of us, we come into the business and it's more of a friend thing. You know, I know this person and this person can get me connected.
You have to be educated, though. Every artist has to
And
be educated.
we always leave out the formal aspect where we get into contracts or get into knowing about.
But what's the reason for that? Here's what's the reason for that. Most of us who pick up a profession like music, we're just doing it because we love music. It was never the money. For me, it was never ever the money.
There you go.
But as I go along, I see how other people want to rewrite history, who want to put themselves in line and collecting other people's money. Then I was to educate myself to the business side of it, and to stop. Why can I educate? Why can't? So that's why that problem exists. What needs to be echoed out there that everybody does, what nobody to know about, is the business side, which is what you doing now. And I respect you for doing what you're doing, because when I was down in Jamaica, it was the same thing. It's the same thing here in America too. It's the same thing everywhere we go, from what we find now.
We have Echo Minor in the background. Echo.
Yes, sir.
Just remain there. Don't say a word. All right. I want to come over to Lady General very quickly. Do you have any questions for Rayven?
No, Rayven, I thank you so much for appearing on the show. And I applaud you for what you're doing as well. Some of the listeners are asking about your background as an artist. Would you like to share that with us?
Okay, thank you so very much again. And my background as an artist, I started recording about 10 years ago. I've been working with various producers. The song that I have several singles released. The most popular would be one called My Darling. Don't know if you have it there, but yes, that will be my most popular song. But it's been challenging, really, because as I said, I am now getting to the point where I see where I'm facing these challenges and I need to educate myself, and so this is how I'm now getting into the other aspects of the business. Because
go ahead, Rayven.
Right. So because I've been performing and releasing music and not getting to the next level, and I'm like, how can I? People say, yes, you're talented, yes, you can write and you can do all these things, but you're not getting to the next level. So
what's the next level?
The next level will be to get. Let me go. So yes, the next level would be to establish an established name as an artist.
Okay. All right, let me ask you, the producers them that you work for, you have a contract with them?
No.
You have no contract with them. Okay. Did you write your own songs?
Yes.
All right. What was the producer role with the music that you wrote? Did you sing on existing tracks?
Some of the tracks was existing tracks, and then a few of them were made specifically for the songs that I wrote.
For you, and the producer technically doesn't have any contract with you or the musician or anybody?
No.
Okay, and are you in good faith with these producers? Are they treating you right?
Yeah, right now, yes. I'm very pleased with what is happening now that I've educated myself.
No. But listen to the question. The producers themselves, are they taking care of you?
No, I would say yes.
So they're paying you and they're looking after you good?
No, yes.
No, yes. What you mean?
Now, yes.
Meaning before it wasn't the case. Before it would be, I was told you need to get on a rhythm that everybody is on, that is going out there.
Once you get on the rhythm that's on, are they taking care of the business side? The producers taking care of the business side? Are you pleased with producers? You're not pleased?
No.
Okay, and what are you looking for? What's your outcome? What you want to see out of it?
Well, I would really want to see where there is more of a structure to it, where you don't have one person doing everything, because there really is need for a team, for teamwork.
I agree with you, but hear what? Do you know who get what?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how the music pie is supposed to
be shared. Yes.
Yeah. And who owned your rights?
As for writing the lyrics, I know the percentage. There's a percentage for me as the songwriter. There's a percentage for the person who composed the rhythm.
Yeah, but who owned your rights? Who owned your rights?
The rights to my lyrics.
Your lyrics
and song.
And what you do? Who own that?
Well, right now the arrangement is 50-50.
Okay, that's one side of the pie. It's 50-50 on the publishing, but okay, here's what it go. The person who create the work, like create the song, as what we've been talking about, is the first owner, is the first copyright owner. So providing you didn't sign anything away, you are the default owner. So the producer have to account to you. If you never sign anything, has the right to investigate, stop, or assign license, not the record company or the producer. Do you know about the Berne Convention?
No.
Okay. Do you know about the Jamaica copyright law?
Yes, I know about that. Okay,
and Jamaica copyright law says, when you look on the website, they say that you are the first owner.
Right.
Right. So on the publishing side is 50-50. The people who come up with the music, they get at 50%, and then you who write the lyrics.
Write the lyrics.
Yeah. Right. And then as far as sales, record sales, that's the next part of the money.
Right.
Do you know anything about that?
Not as much as I should know about that.
Well, you shouldn't get no less than 14%.
Okay.
Suggested retail price. And do you understand mechanicals?
Mechanicals will be the rhythm part of it.
No, and mechanicals is not what they sell, is how much they manufacture. So if he pressed a 10,000 and put it under his bed, he still have to pay for just pressing the 10,000.
Okay.
I think the statutory rate is what, 10 cents? Chris, I think it's 10 cents for each copy that he manufactures. Not what he sells, just to manufacture it. And this is a pool of money that all these artists going back miss out on.
It varies across countries. Scientists in Britain it's 8.5%.
Yeah, 8.5% of what?
Of the it's 6.5% of the suggested.
That is when it's sale. That is when we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about, sale.
Yeah. No, we're talking about manufacturing. That's what mechanical is.
That's where it's 6.5% in Britain.
Okay, so if the record was selling for $10, the mechanical rate is saying is $6.
Yeah, it's 6.5%, so it's not $6.
Well, it's 6.5. So
it's 6.5 cents.
Yeah, so if they manufacture 1,000 record and each record sell for $10,
yeah,
then mechanical rate, not what he sells.
Yeah, that's right.
he could have never ever sell one copy.
That's right, and that's on hard copy sales, whether it's vinyl or CD. It's not the same parameters for downloads.
Digital, different thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the digital kind of come and messes up. So let me ask you: Did they manufacture a lot of these records?
No. No, it's mostly via digital distribution. IT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. These things go when you go back on Jamaica copyright website, go read the copyright thing. Educate yourself to the Burton Convention. You are the first owner. Anything that goes on with the song, they're using your likeness, name, and image on the record, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it's as long as you have, again, this is not my word. This is based on the Burton Convention. As long as they use in your professional pseudonym. When I say pseudonym, it means no doubt as to what's your name again, Rayven.
Rayven, yeah, Amani.
Yeah, it leaves no doubt as Rayven singing it and they're using your professional pseudonym. Then by default, based on the Burn Convention, you are the default owner, and all these people needs to account to you. Now, from what you're telling me, it sounds like you and these producers have a good relationship. Is that true?
Yes, I would say.
Yeah,
yes, I would say so.
So I'm not saying to sour your relationship with them. What I would advise you to do, so your son is not saying to their son or grandson, my mommy didn't say or my Bible didn't say, is to put a contract in force.
Let me ask you a question, scientist. In terms of an artist wanting to find out what the sales are like, or what's going on with their music on the digital download form, yeah. Does the producer have a duty of care to the artist to inform them what is going on, or is there a way for the artist to actually find this information out?
Well, the way it is done now, and a lot of artists got through the problem in Jamaica. Artists from Jamaica make a track, the producer himself don't know him right. Him go to a record company in the UK, them license it out. The company in the UK with bad practice, don't make sure that the producer have a contract with the artist, and then the record company take the royalty and send it to the artist, and then the producer not looking for the artist to give him his share of the money, which is usually what the case.
Right.
What I done, or what needs to be done, is a royalty statement needs to be issued every 90 days, something like that, a royalty statement.
Right.
And if there is any question about the royalty statement, the catch is, which is very expensive, that you can always audit. But to go audit iTunes, that's a whole big expensive procedure.
Right. Roddy Campbell.
Yes, General.
Any questions for Rayven?
A ton of questions for her based on what I've heard so far. And she's working with a lot of different producers. My question to you, Rayven, is when your music is being uploaded to the different digital download sites, are you there on spot to oversee when your music is being uploaded to these sites? But before we even get there, are your songs copywritten?
That's what I was just going to ask.
Yes, I'm a member of JCAP.
Okay.
So every time that I have a song,
I know you are because I see you on there.
Okay. Yes, and every time I have a song to be released, I do take in a physical copy, a hard copy to the office and have it signed up and everything.
So when your songs are being uploaded to the different digital download sites like iTunes and CD Baby and Amazon and the rest of them, are you the one that upload these songs, or is it your producers?
The producers.
Okay.
Now, when these songs are being uploaded to these websites, are you there on spot?
No, I'm not. Most of the times, no.
Which goes back to what scientist says, because here's the problem that I find with a lot of Jamaican artists. recording for different producers. You can keep track of every one of these producers and what they do and how they go about dealing with your product.
Right.
So what I would suggest that you do is start looking at contracts. You can actually formulate your own contract. A producer don't have to give you a contract. You can actually take of your own contract that you create, that you can take to these producers and said, okay, here's a song that we did together. Here's my contract. I would like you to read it, and this is how we're going to proceed. Because the problem with Jamaica is there is too many unscrupulous things going on with Jamaica, and it's been going on for many, 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 many years. You have some sense of... Sorry?
So it's more like a hustle more than a business.
Yes.
It's a hustle. The thing I love about what I'm hearing from you is that you have some sense of the business.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier in your conversation that JCAPs need to be give out more information. Everything that you need to know about your rights, your royalties, your performance rights, it is all on the JCAP website. The problem with Jamaican artists is Jamaican artists are doing this whole music thing backwards. It's music first, and then they try and learn the business afterwards.
Right.
Okay? I have released my album last year. Everything about my album is in my hands. Everything. And this is one of the reasons why I don't record with 15, 4, 5, 6 different producers, because you can't keep track of all of this. Right?
Right.
So as you move forward and as you grow in the business, minimize yourself down to 2 or 3 producers. I have 1.
So let me ask you a question.
Work with a few others, but what I'm trying to say is, if you keep working with too many producers, you can't keep track of your music.
What is the code of practice?
In what
From
way?
a producer to an artist, what is the practice?
It's different. It's different from country to country, because I'm here in Canada, and any producer I work with here in Canada, it is business first, music second.
That's you, Roddy. But for somebody like she who doesn't know anything about the business, like most of us who come in don't know anything about the business.
Right.
You do have no name. 20 different producers come to you. I understand the double-edged sword. The more producer put you out, if all of us paying, it would be better for you. But
because right here in Jamaica, it's rhythm driven, they call it, where likelihood of getting airplay is based on which rhythm you're on.
Yeah,
and
but
artist is on the rhythm.
But again, Echo can relate to this. When you just come into the business, Echo, you sounded like she when she just come into the business. You didn't know, and if 20 producers approach you, you as a kid from the ghetto want to establish yourself. You're not going to turn on all these different producers. Does what she's talking about, Echo, does that sound like you when you just got in?
Yeah, definitely, because me just love music and don't know nothing about the aspect of music and
the business.
When I first do the first album for Jammies, and Jammies, I do one with him first, and then Tubbies, like a King Tubbies, then Jammies, he let me hear next with him, I sing on it. Then I do 3. Then after he said, yo, it's 7 more tunes, you can make 7 more tunes and make an album. And I end up do 7 tunes.
Which is good.
The next day I come to do the next 3 songs, and he going back to England and asked me what I want. And I said, I want a schedule. And
you didn't know about the business, a contract, and it was a good opportunity.
Nothing like that, nothing.
Right, it was a good opportunity about it. But let me ask you, Echo, the business side, like where you get to know them, people deal with what they're supposed to deal with your mechanicals and all of that.
Well, normally just PRS and Sashem, me really deal with that at this moment, because even right now, I never sign no paper with nobody, no publishing, nothing.
Right. So you are the default owner of your thing. All right. You own that as a default owner. But again, with the accounting and that, are they keeping up to that? Are your mechanical rods? Because we're saying a lot. What I've been educating a lot of artists, and it's not what them sell, is what them press. And I know them press your stuff hundreds and hundreds or thousands at times. So every time with them press, you're supposed to get 10 cents.
Not time I no get. But guess what happened? The good thing is this. No, I'm still living. So you know what I'm doing now? Me pressing up my songs them and sell them myself.
Well, this is what I was talking about. Well, the good thing, and they can't stop you.
No.
That's an interesting concept, and I keep hearing that, repressing your own thing and selling it back.
Well, yeah. Well, that was the thing with me and Green.
Because you're not the more money to get from them. You can't get nothing from them. If you go try to go sue them, look more years, people kill all them thing. Them, you know the part not to them.
I hear you.
Yeah, and then them have people coming to court, them come tell live.
So aside from them, I make back my money if you make back. I know I'm pre-pressed.
Yeah, Echo, look at it this way now. When you say it's $1,000 per press, and you sell each one for $10, you sell 3,000. That's $30,000 that you can put in a pocket. Why them need to keep getting the money? And then again, it's justified because them owe you all this back money.
For real, yes, man, a lot.
Yeah.
So Echo,
but coming back to what I was saying to Rayven, exactly what I was talking about. Scientists is, as you said earlier, as a no-name artist. And you know you want to get your name out there. That's what happened back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. So we do not want to repeat that cycle again. This is what I'm saying to Rayven. Understand. At least get some understanding of the business first. Because my first producer as a new artist when I came out years ago, my producer, who, well, thank God for him. Before I went into the studio, he sat me down and says, do you understand anything about the business? I said, no. And he started to talk to me and he spoke to me. So what I'm saying, Rayven, because you're dealing with a lot of the young artists them nowadays, introduce them to, they're in Jamaica, introduce them to the JCAP website. Instead of they're a no-name artist and they want to jump on because there's all these rhythms coming out and everybody wants to be on the same rhythm.
Yes.
Let them help them to understand at least a little bit of the business before they go and jump on anything. Because what we're going to do if we don't do that with the young artists coming up, we're going to repeat the same cycle. Right. Look at what Echo Minott went through.
All right, and don't sign anything unless them have somebody else read it over them know exactly what them signing because it will make you sign away your soul.
Sign away your life. Right. So what
that's been one of our major focus with the program. Even though I myself is still learning a lot here, is like I still see the need. So I'm calling on all the veterans in the business and all the people who are more knowledgeable to come in and be a part of the program. And
but the thing in us, miss, a whole bunch of the veterans them don't know themselves.
Well, I would have hoped that they've been learning from their experience.
But they don't know about the business or what to ask for.
A lot of producers still don't know the business too.
And
that's right.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying.
Right, Echo.
That's what I was just saying.
And then to straighten what Echo said, a producer don't know the business. Him go to a record company somewhere in the UK, and then he don't realize. We seen it here on one of our show where we stopped this producer from signing this contract. He already spent the money doing everything, and somebody wants to put it out, and somebody want this producer to sign over everything in perpetual. Do you know what that word mean, Rayven?
Meaning that will be for a lifetime, basically.
Amen. That's it, girl. Good. That's it right there.
Right there, forever. So regardless of what happened to this person, you can't get to leave it unto your grandkid because this vampire want to own your things forever.
And I'm glad Rayven gave that answer a while ago because she answered the question rightly, which tells me that Rayven, you have your finger on the pulse and you're learning about the business. So these young artists that you're dealing with, these producers that you're dealing with, don't make any producer fly up in their face and say, boy, Rayven, are the hottest rhythm this, that, Jamaica. Hold on 1 second.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second, because what you lose, what you sign today, or what you don't look at today as far as the business is concerned, it going to hurt you 10 years from now.
It's a double-edged sword to Rayven, because here what happens. Sometimes it's better, and every lie will tell you this, there's no contract, because the default rule is in place. It makes them at the mercy of the court, because they're in violation. The first thing is, mostly all our 99% of Jamaica recording is illegal release. Why? Because the law is the producer need to have a contract before he can release anything.
That's right.
Right.
I want to bless up everyone who's logged in right about now. We are on Stockade Radio, simulcasting on Rockers Corner Radio, Tornado Radio, and Reggae Wave Radio. Want to bless up Last Boss who's in the chat room, and I want to bless up Daddy Lion Chandel live and direct out of Chicago, and bless up everyone in the respective chat rooms. Our special guest today, we had Ibby a little bit earlier, and now we have Rayven Amani, and she's an awesome artist, and we have the legendary Echo Minott. What a thing, what a thing.
Big artist.
Listen,
big artist.
Echo, give us some of you, how you come in the business, your things, what you go through, support.
Well, I go through a lot, and really after I go through, I don't really like stress over it, because I have a lot of artists like, okay, a lot of artists like alternates. Them man, when they reach the stage, of the young youths, them having things, and them man know them pave the way. I know, end up with nothing, I stress them, start stress out, and I look at my ear, all kind of shit happening,
True, King. True.
For me, try to not stress myself, all me do, me say, okay, me been through it already, and it now happened to me again. So me try to stay firm and focus, and try to put out my own thing. And any business me or any producer, it's half and half. Right now.
Yeah.
So if you press 1,000 copy, give me 500, and you take 5.
Yeah.
So me I do.
Yeah, because me and Echo Minott, we know each other from going way back.
Yes.
We take all kind of risks, because anytime people hear about Jamal Avenue and Tubbies and round of them places, man, it's like you're talking about some place like Israel or Afghanistan.
And anytime I go Tubbies, because sing, me always look over the fence, because nobody thinks I want a nice place down the side of Baba.
It's not a nice
place. Anything can take at any time.
Hey, when you hear about King Tubbies, right? The same time you're watching, I hear about Taliban and West Bank and Bower Bank and them kind of things.
Yeah,
it's the same exact situation. But here is what the difference, and it's most God in the Echo. It's most God, because round here so bad, like I'm telling you, the police them not coming round here unless it's 10,000 of them not coming, them just not coming. Echo is most God, because now not one stone ever raised against his own.
That's right, you see it. I told we live to again, because we don't mix up whether it's artist or engineer, say, well, just that. And think I go down, people will tell me too.
But the thing about it was key. Don't go around there and start act like say you're better than anybody.
No. A firehouse running him,
Yeah, no, hey, listen. But that, Fitzroy was here. If Fitzroy was here, it was a musical dynasty, though. Waterhouse is a musical dynasty. Junior Reid, Don Carlos, King Tubby Studios there. Musical House really have a lot of history of Jamaica, and people don't know that. But the thing is, like, you just said you look over the wall there, Echo. Enough time scientists said, stuff go on next to the next wall, and people confirm you don't know what's going on in the next yard sometime and fire a shot. Even Bunny Lee and Pat Kelly said they in the studio one time, all of a sudden boom, 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 and they have to get down the floor and they see the gunman outside shooting it out on the live on the CC, the closed caption TV, boom, 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 and they said this is how it is every day.
Hey, one morning, me and Bunny Lee leave the studio. And them kill a whole family behind.
There you go. I was just gonna say that.
Studio. Them even shoot up to the fish tank. Get shoot up.
There you go. The cats and everything, yo.
I want dangerous place on them, man.
Wicked, yo. Over politics, yo.
Junior would have run from around there too, and them come from them.
And Junior Reid left from around there.
Yeah.
Junior Reid was about 3-4 doors away from Tubby's.
And then you have Q Mandel, Don Carlos.
I realize,
Without, if I can jump in here for a second without sidetracking, I have a question. Echo, I have a question for you. Being based on everything that you have been through, and you're coming into the knowledge of the business, you know, over the last couple of years, could you kind of talk about your actions now and what actions you're taking now as far as your music is concerned and what you're doing now based on the business, so some of the younger artists who are listening and producers can get a full understanding as where you're coming from to where you are now?
Well, I'm producing myself right now. So I still do songs for producers. Once them talk to me proper, and I, but me not really interested.
Do you sign contracts?
Yeah, we're not really interested in that.
Okay.
So me I try to do my own program right now, my own. Right now, me just have just repress one of my songs, named One Man Alone. Okay. And I have that song. I have a next one that sells for 1,500 US on eBay.
Wow.
It's called Come Again.
Okay.
Where did that for?
Producer in New York City, but I don't know. Nobody know where he is. I've tried to find him. Nobody don't know. Maybe dead too. I don't know. But all them song, it's good for me now, because now I said, okay, what I lost before, I can recoup it back before I die.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that in line that after 30 years, all right, revert back to artists.
Yes, I know that.
What contract it did sign, so all the rights to get reverted back now to you.
So I have another question for you, Echo. So you are more comfortable of having a better understanding or overstanding of the business right now, correct?
Sure, yes.
Amen.
Echo.
Yeah, I always ask a question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rayven.
No, I always hear about verbal contracts. Like, there are a lot of producers here that seem to prefer.
There's no such thing. No such thing as a verbal contract with intellectual property.
No such thing. In any form in life, there's no such thing as a verbal contract.
Yeah, verbal contract if me and you go into the store and I promise to buy a candy. But that's
it's kind of like them say, ears can't carry a coat. Verbal contract can't carry the coat.
But the thing about verbal contract, when you're a record company, like again a situation, we did songs 30 years ago, it ended up in Grand Theft Auto. Nobody wasn't thinking about video games 30 years ago. And then something like that happened. Your grandkids going to be saying to the producer, well, my mommy didn't say that. It becomes a t-shirt thing.
There's no such thing as a verbal contract. However, if you and somebody sign a contract on a piece of toilet paper, that's a contract that can be taken to court.
Yeah, if both of you sign it and agree to what the terms is.
And the reason why I say that, after everything that Bob Marley and my wife and I sat down and watched this a couple days ago, of everything that Bob Marley went through with Chris Blackwell, Bob Marley's children will never be hungry a day in their life. And the reason is, right now, Bob Marley's empire is worth $1.6 billion. Wow. Ziggy Marley is pulling in $100 million a year. Rita Marley is pulling in $25.6 million a year. Three of Bob Marley's sons is pulling in $10.5 million a year. The entire Bob Marley,
it's not just the record.
Everything, records, T-shirts, paraphernalia, everything.
Coffee,
everything.
Everything.
No, the reason why I say that is because Bob Marley's children were smart enough to educate themselves on the business. They have taken everybody to court. They have sued everybody left, right, and center. And for the most part, they have won every single lawsuit So Bob Marley's empire, the entire Bob Marley's empire right now is worth, and my wife and I just watched it 3 days ago, $1.6 billion.
Well, him deserve it. Him deserve it because, Bob Marley come from nothing. And if he was here, he would have tell you the same exact thing where we telling you what he got through. And it never come easy for him. Plus, guess what? Bob never even get to enjoy it. Him not even get to see it.
Yeah.
Well, nothing that I'm doing with my music is for me. It's for all my it's my children and my grandchildren.
Well, him sight, and not one of him seed shall beg, bro, sit on the sidewalk.
There you go.
Right?
Amen.
There you go.
Yep. And Bob was the kind of guy, he did not mind not benefiting materially.
That's right.
From it, you know.
Yeah. No, the reason why I brought
go ahead.
The reason why I brought up the whole Bob Marley thing is that what drop off a head, drop on shoulder. But the thing is that Bob Marley's children was smart enough. I could give you stories because I'm a research freak. As a matter of fact, at one point, Rita Marley had forged her signature on something, on a contract that was collecting money from the estate.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a long story. It's a long story. But my point is that everything that Bob Marley did and was frauded out of everything that we all talked about before, and Bob Marley got ripped off by Chris Blackwell and the whole blah, 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 blah. Right now, 2015, none of Bob Marley's children will ever be hungry again for the rest of their life. However, Bob Marley's children took it upon themselves to learn the business.
But can I say something? Can I say something though here? Do you mind?
Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay. The thing is, and no disrespect to nobody in the Marley family, but when Mortimer Plano passed away, before he passed away, he was sick. And as a respectful thing to do, we say, yo, Bob, get enough inspiration from him for the whole music thing and to bring the word. And he did so much for Bob and Bunny. And do you know what Rita did when we asked, hey, could you help out with a little bit of the medical bills so he could stay alive? No, she not giving nothing. And that's what pissed every Rasta off. I'm sorry.
But none of Bob Marley money not spent in Jamaica.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but here who
they all live here in Florida anyways. They're in Florida there anyways.
But here who get leave out of that whole equation? The Wailers then, because remember the music thing is divided up into two portions: the music and then the lyrics.
Yeah.
Right.
No, the reason why I brought up the whole the reason why I brought up the whole Bob Marley thing is I wanted Echo Minor to hear this, because Echo, everything you're doing right now, my brethren, is for your children.
At 13 of them, you have enough.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Have you ever heard the word contraceptive?
You're like going to be like Family Man, yo. You're going to be like Family Man.
No, the reason why, again, as I said, the reason why I brought this up is because Echo is with us, and I want Echo to hear this, that Echo, everything that you're reproducing of your own and you're selling it is for your children, my brother.
Yeah, for real.
Saying because you've been through hell and back.
Yes, for real. Right now,
so for all the young artists out there who are listening to what we are saying today, including Rayven, and what you're doing, Rayven, I applaud you for what you're doing in Jamaica, because you know what, I'm a Jamaican. I'm passionate about what's going on in Jamaica. A couple of years ago, JCAP had 2,000 members. To date, 2015, JCAP have over 4,000 members and counting.
Yeah.
Right, so a lot of people are smartening up in Jamaica and understanding the business. The problem that's going on in Jamaica is the producers.
You know what I see
Go ahead, Rayven.
Yes, what I see happening is I'm a member of JCAP, and JCAP been trying their best. They have lots of forums. The last one they had on songwriting, they had Mikey Bennett as the speaker there. And a lot of us as members, we attended, and what I heard happening was nobody were listening. Well, nobody was really taking in what Mikey Bennett was saying about songwriting and the aspects of it that we need to pay attention to. But by the end of his speech, everybody was asking, how may I get no royalties? How may I get no royalties? It's like somewhere in the psyche it's still not getting through that you can only get royalties if your song is being played, you know, and still not really taking in the knowledge.
And that won't happen.
Part of the problem with Jamaica is the payola, why some of these
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Because right now, JCAP right now is paying out more money to foreign artists' music that's been played on the radio than local artists.
And you're never going to break the neck of payola anyway, so how do you get around that?
Well, that's one of the things that Jacob is wrestling with right now, because Jacob will collect over $150 million in royalties. 65% of that $150 million worth of money is paid out to foreign artists, music that's been played on the radio, and then you have that whatever 35% left that is paid to the local artists. So it comes back to the radio station where it's all this payola thing that is going on in Jamaica that has completely destroyed the music.
Yeah, because a lot of, I tell you what, okay, one thing I want to say. When you have some artists, now when they do some tune for a producer, right? A producer right now, not spend the time for no promotion. It's an artist themselves have to take the money to them pocket and go make video.
Right.
And DJs and them to them play it.
Right.
And that no nice.
Yeah.
Now when you do a song, a producer is supposed to know, say, well, he might take care of things done, you know. But no, it's changed.
Yeah.
Because the artists have to deal with it themselves. So, hard.
Well, that's kind of good for the artists doing the echo, because a lot of time what the producer them will do, them will put together a bill after them spend on $100 on promotion and say them spend $10,000 on promotion. So it's kind of good. Some of the artists.
You know, some of them the artists just take the tape and go to radio station and say, them a business. Them have to headset for God for them. Make with them to make it now. Them not think about you as artists. Them not gonna try to build you. No.
Yeah. Did you know that a lot of Jamaican artists? Did you know that a lot of Jamaican artists who are putting up music videos on YouTube don't even know that they can collect royalties from it?
There you go.
A lot of them don't know.
Yep.
They don't know.
There you go. I was just talking about that with some of my brethren. Yep.
Here.
A lot of them don't know.
Listen.
No. Stop there, because I said this before. Jamaica, YouTube don't pay. Well, they don't allow Jamaican artists. Jamaica, you can't monetize your videos.
From Jamaica?
No, you can't do it, Echo.
Why is that, Chris?
It's something to do with Google and who they play up to. There's only certain countries that can monetize their videos.
Yes. It's kind of like CD Baby Pro, which I'm a part of. It's not in Jamaica. It's just your regular.
Yeah, but that have an awful side to it, because here's why that's wrong. Say Echo Minott have a YouTube channel that 10 million views. That's showing. That's not discriminated. Are showing only in Jamaica. It's showing worldwide. Right?
I think they pay 10 cents per thousand. I think, you know.
Yes, but he's saying that if it done from if somebody from Jamaica put up a YouTube video,
that's not good.
It's not good. Yeah. If they create, that's why what happens with the videos, and we
so
don't
only
have.
But it's stupid. It's stupid, because here you get round at that now. Because what they do, right? When you upload in the video, the upload service say these IP address, because every country have its own IP address.
Yeah.
So if it coming from this IP address, then don't allow ad on it.
That's right.
That's what it should say.
So no, but that's how it's set up in automatic. So to get around that, you just have somebody in America upload it.
That's right. Absolutely.
I was going to say that. I was like, just upload it from a country you can, man.
But when they upload it, you still not get the money. The people that uploading it get the money.
Well, you have to have somebody.
And then you have to pay the artist.
But going back to it though, how much are you really making from monetizing it? 10 cents for 1,000 views?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. What need to happen is the artist. Because if 100 million people see a video or hear your stuff, that's 100 million people know about Echo Minott. But the problem is Echo Minott doesn't have his website listed to the video, nothing listed to the video. So he probably can sell them something.
That's kind of the thing I told you though last time. I think somebody mentioned about a producer is a reducer. That's what producers like to do. And so that whole thing about monetizing too, they don't let the artist know about all those little things about digital. So when Rayven said she's not even there to upload it, so she doesn't even know if they are monetizing her music into the videos.
And YouTube also, when you do the song, right? It's like when you do the song, promote the somebody that upload it have to pay the artist out there, because the artists have something to get out there, but and all of them get. And that thing
Well, here's what it go back to artist and artist management. With a record company that say Columbia put out, they go already have some deal dependent who your manager, you represent the lion that says, well, any derivative from this you get X amount. But with somebody who don't know the business, I already know them going to suffer. I ain't going to see shit.
And all you get royalty again from YouTube is when they have the promotion on it. I say skip, that's where the money comes.
Right, the advertisement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Let me just come to a question from one of our listeners, Abdul George, who is an artist down there in Dominica. He actually lives in New York right now, but originally from Dominica. And he has a question for the panel. And he says, if I write a song and give it a melody and arrange the bass line and take it to a producer who is my friend, and then he did exactly as I wanted it, what is the best deal we should make for this album release?
And he's the singer.
And he's the artist singer on it, yeah.
So is he the singer, songwriter, and he created the bass line?
He said if he writes a song and gives it a melody and arranges the bass line and takes it to a producer who is his friend, and he did exactly...
The man that played gonna get the money, because I do that with Steely and Cleve when I make with jammies. When I'm doing what the other police can do, jammies tell me to sing it and I read them, but I never feel it with them and I sing 2 minutes on it. And say, boy, jamming, me not like it, you know. You hear though. Miss Steely and Cleve. Then after I went away to America, and then Jamis called me and said, Echo, if you ever sing half more minute, I put it out. I said, King, me not like the rhythm. So I go to Jamaica and him say, all right, give me Steely and Cleve. When Steely and Cleve is there, I tell Steely what to play and Cleve. Bass line I give them. But at the end of the day, when the song release, I don't get, my name is not there for
That's what Wayne Smith, the same thing with Wayne Smith, when he did on the Sling thing. Noel Davey and somebody else did it, and then Jammies just speed it up and do this thing. And no disrespect to Jammies, but every producer or reducer, they don't want to credit the proper musicians and singer, you know?
Going back to the question from the guy on the panel.
Yeah.
The question is, what's the best deal?
Yeah.
Well, the best deal is to just retain what's the default. Well, he write it, so he would retain 100% of the songwriting. If the producer just putting up money, then the producer has no creative input to the song. So the producer is only allowed to collect what the statutory rate is no less than 3%.
Yep, 3%.
Right.
And the musician.
Yeah, well, whoever the writers are, whoever created.
Yeah.
Let me ask Rayven. Rayven, do you know what a producer royalty rate is?
No.
Okay,
3%. 3%.
It starts 3%. At 3%.
And it can be worked up to anything. Like we said one of the last shows, you could ask for any amount of money, but that's about the start of it, 3%. And if you're a really hot producer, you can ask for 6, maybe 7, whatever. But 3% is like the lowest end of it.
Yes. So when somebody's only entitled to 3%, how can they own the entire song to themselves if a producer only supposed to get 3%?
Can I pop in a minute, guys, and just clarify again, don't confuse composition with production. The 3% and more is about production and a creative input that a producer has had on an already composed lyric and melody.
That's right.
And I think that's got to be made really, really clear, that because the terminology of producer gets mixed in with composer, that you have to make sure that if you create the melody, you are the composer.
Right.
And whatever deal you do with the producer at that point, because we still do some 50-50 stuff, because they take the basic melody and it's a nice working relationship. But it's like you said, it starts at 3%.
No, and the thing is that's what I dealt with this producer recently. It's like he wanted to talk about all this what he owns, but I said you don't understand. And when I showed him what he owns, then he got more upset. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I tried to get him educated and say this is what you should do, and then the thing is, I was going to go back to Rayven first said about signing up. This is the thing. He didn't even let me know he signed up. I said, so did you sign my rhythm up? You know.
Yeah, but Echo and Rayven, you just learned about this 3%, right?
Right. Yes.
I mean, Rayven, you just learned about this 3%.
Yes.
Have you get a royalty check, a royalty statement from any other producers?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but here's what I see go happen. When you tell a producer that he's only allowed to get from 3%, he go up. He go up with especially if he's a dandada. If especially if that dandada, the dandada ain't gonna want to hear about him supposed to only get 3 cents out the dollar.
No, I hear that word.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's not I say so.
It's in the book.
This is where I would look. This is where I look at that producer and said, you know, don't be penny wise and pound foolish, because it's not 3% out of $1. It is 3% out of 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
So it all adds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But the Dan that I ain't gonna want to hear say what Echo might not get more money than me, and it's my money spent.
But no matter how you slice the cake, the artist eventually, if the business is done right and proper, the artist eventually is always going to get the bulk of the money anyway.
Yeah, but not in the Dan case.
Producer them need to man, cause when we write song for ourselves, we always have see producer name in it, like them write it like we.
We keep hearing now that where the artist is making money is from performances and not necessarily recording.
That is one of the biggest. That's one of the biggest misconception.
Yeah, you make money from you make money on sales, you make money on earpay, and you make money every time you go perform on a show. Like if you have a show, you're handing your set list, and there's different pools of the money.
Even if somebody else go on stage and perform your song, Rayven, you make money.
Lady General.
Yeah, but most of our events here they're not licensed, and they're not really turning over set list. I was shocked. I was at Jack with the winning band from the competition, and afterwards the promoter came over and asked me for the set list for the band, and the band members, they were totally lost. They were like, "Is it that she's going to invite us back for the next show?" And I was like, "No, it's really about royalties." And they didn't know
but you know what happened? Sometimes the promoter, when him ask you for the set list, you have to make sure you put who on it, because him know well if he had anything to ASCAP, so ASCAP only pay who is on it. And was this in Jamaica that asking for the set list?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's good, because that's supposed to go to JCAP. I think it's JCAP demanding that money.
That's the thing right now with JCAP. JCAP is trying to catch up with the rest of the world as far as licenses are concerned. In Canada, there's nowhere you perform anywhere, anything. In the United States, it's the same thing. And I think if Chris probably can correct me on this, in the UK, rest of the world is doing this thing the right way. Jamaica is trying to catch up, and JCAP is wrestling with this is why you go certain dance hall now, police come and lock down the dance, because the promoter is not presenting any form of a playlist where artists can get their money paid.
That's a double-edged sword in Jamaica. Here what happened. With the radio station, them already not playing reggae, right? And the only outlet for people like Echo Minds and them coming first is through the dance hall. I understand what I'm trying to do, but is it reaching a little bit too far?
Yes, I see this headline. This headline in Friday's newspaper, where there's a move towards mandatory local content in media.
That's right.
Where the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce is pushing for radio stations and television stations to play more local content. So
yeah, but
I'm definitely have a keen interest in this. I will be keeping.
Yeah, but me and BBC was trying to fight that from when we was back in Jamaica. We making all this record, and we not hear none of them playing. Only thing here JBC play every day is all soul music and all kind of stuff like that. And all the record that we.
That's why all the money them going back to America.
Yeah,
right. And the next part of it that they need to push for too is for the radio stations to start logging what they play so that they can.
No, of course they log it. They
do that, man. They
have to.
They log it. The login. You see that the problem is when ASCAP them from America call them can't falsify the document, and now it raised question. I wonder if whoever collecting that money down there really reporting right now. Cause look here, when you have a whole bunch of uneducated people don't know what them doing, well, I hope JCAP or whoever doing it not taking them money, because I already know the body corrupted system can get. You find the executive them collecting all the money, and then the artists them so unorganized that them don't know anything.
Well, as far as Jamaica is concerned, sorry, Rayven. As far as Jamaica is concerned, Jamaica is number 3 on the watch list of the world as far as royalties are concerned. So Jamaica is getting, especially JCAP, is getting a lot of pressure from ASCAP, BMI, and other entities from across the world based on how business is done in Jamaica. So they're getting a lot of pressure, and one of the reasons why they're getting a lot of pressure is because music, for example, in the hotels, bands that are playing in the hotels that are playing cover songs every single night, the hotel is supposed to be paying royalties.
Yeah.
The hotel is supposed to be paying royalties. Yes, Echo.
I want to ask a question. Like how I never joined JCAP, right? And my song playing in Jamaica, how I get royalty from it? Who collect it?
Well, let's see, you didn't join.
No.
But join in France, join the, like where you live in France, join the country where you live in, and you need to register the song.
No, I know. I PRS and stuff, but I'm just asking who collect
the registered.
Well, they play in Jamaica. Because
nothing, because you didn't join.
Hold up. Let one person speak at a time. Hold up. Echo,
well,
go ahead.
Because you didn't join, nothing is being collected.
Echo, go ahead.
No, I said because I don't see on my PRS statement that it played in Jamaica. Nothing. I don't.
Did you register the song? Did you register the song?
Sure.
All right. So
yeah, but what I hear from
I get it worldwide, like all over the world, but I never see Jamaica and the state.
Unless
and I know a lot of our stations are not paying over royalty. The number of radio stations keep growing, but you can find but 1 or 2 that is paying the royalties.
Probably what you're saying is correct. Them probably not logging it, or if when them log it, them not turning over the one them that play in Jamaica, so them can get to keep the money or don't pay the money.
Right. So the last time I was at a JCAP meeting, they were suggesting that they launch a protest or something, and the artists were saying, no, they won't. Nobody wants to be blackballed. So nobody's going to be protesting against the radio station for not paying over the royalties and all that stuff. So the last thing I heard was that JCAP did file a lawsuit against a number of radio stations.
That's right.
They need to be licensed and they need to be paying over the royalties. So I'm hoping that something will come of that.
Yeah, but see, as I know, corruption run in Jamaica. I hope that when JCAP put the lawsuit, it's not going into the body pocket.
Right.
That's where
the artists in Jamaica have to stay on top of it.
Well, this is why I say need lawyers for the artists. That actually oversee JCAP and make sure that the money is going to the right people and not the executive.
But Lady General just said something that I've been saying all this while. We can sit here and we can point our fingers at JCAP and we can point our fingers at the radio station. As Lady General just said a while ago, artists have to start to take responsibility for their own product.
Right.
And you should know your royalties and producer rates and all that stuff.
But here's what the problem is, Lady General. Most of these artists is not like Rayven, right? They want to be treated like kings. And the king never fights a battle for himself. The king don't know the fight. So the first clappers bust, the king run underneath the bed because he's not really a soldier.
I think that most of them are waking up now. Most of them do want, their stuff to be done properly, and especially something you touched on earlier, Scientist, when you said that after 30 years it reverts, the ownership reverts back to the artist. That's something I'd like us to pick up another day, because I know that we have a lot of veteran artists that are very interested in this show. And, you know, that's something that we could probably walk them through and guide them on how to reclaim, you know, what's rightfully theirs.
Yeah. There was something that Congress ruled on, and you could, we should probably look for it, that in America here, and every record company is trying to fight it, that these artists now can now go apply. I think there's up to 2016, something like that, where they can go apply and get back everything reverted back to them, regardless of what contract them have.
That's the Masters lawsuit?
Yeah.
With Aretha
that's the one, yeah.
And all of them can go and get back the rights to whatever, because they recognize that they missed out on a lot of money, because again they came into the business, they were just hungry singers, didn't have a good representative, signed some unfair contracts. So the law is now they can go file and get back ownership of whatever they had.
Now I posted that on the page, and I encourage everybody to take a look at the Reggae Business Talk Show page on Facebook. There is a ton of information there. There is JCAP contact information, there's ASCAP, there's the Berne Convention, stuff that you hear us discuss on this show. You can find snippets of it on that page. And Duza, did you want me to post something earlier?
No, I was just going to say about the thing that I have with producer rates. One of the first shows I had given you that link about producer rates, and that's a real good link. It's from law people, legal thing, and that's one that, like, even Rayven now, it would show you 3% as a producer, 10 cents on your royalties, on your mechanical royalties, little things like that you got to educate yourself about. You know, it's little links like that, and go to the page. And if you go to the page, like you said, then that's where you can learn about that stuff. You know,
and my heart is near and dear to the veteran artists.
I told you that. Go ahead. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Ladies first. Excuse me.
Go ahead, Lady G. Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was just gonna say, you know, my heart is near and dear to the veteran artists. You know, maybe because my own brother is one, but also because, you know, what's happening nowadays with some of this generation that are listening to music, they're going back to the retro stuff, and, you know, case in point with Sister Nancy's song being done by Reebok and all this stuff. So I think it's important for us to give that information to them and to help them through it. But if I scroll down, Duza, I'll find it, right? On the page.
I think we posted it on there at some point, yeah.
See if you can find it and repost it as a fresh post.
Going on your point, Lady General, like, that's one thing about, I was really pushing, I think one of the last times or times before, about if you love your veteran artists, why would you let them get treated like that? You know, it's like, I love Don Carlos, Jai Life, Scientist, some of these guys, and it's not fair that they get ripped off, ripped off, and their families. Like you say, you want to talk about sons and grandsons and great-grandchildren and this and that, it's not fair, man. It's just not fair. If you love this music so much, and like, think about Tommy McCook, all these guys, Lester Sterling, all these guys, they probably went to their grave. A lot of these guys who passed away, some of them still alive, they never probably saw their proper royalties. I can guarantee you.
End up with nothing, man. Same thing about even same way with Altanellis.
That's a perfect
example. Stress them and they stress because, you know, and plus, and there are times when you didn't put out no new song them again to and no work slow. You know, a stress, man.
Yeah, well, as Lady General
drink,
just said, you know.
At the same thing, Delroy Wilson, the man they start drink.
Yeah.
I know that. That's what, you know, it was funny. Somebody was just talking about that the other day. About you either turn, you know, those people, you have the righteous man who say, you know, they turn to God. Don Carlos told me a story that say one time you get down, you just say, yo, John, just humble me and make me know that I have a little money off this. But then you have some people who, they start seeing in the career and the little money and they want to get into the rum and the cocaine and this and that. No disrespect to anybody. You have the right to do what you want. But that's where I think we've all made our mistake, is then we want to say, oh man, I don't have a good career. I'm not going to get the money I want. And then we get more depressed and don't do something about it. And Ruddy always said, do something about it, you know?
When they start going that age, I ain't see nothing.
Yeah. Well, as Lady General said, you know, that the veteran artist is near and dear to her heart. The young artists, them, for me.
So I love that, Lady General. I love that really put.
You know, for me, the young artists, the young and up and coming artists are near and dear to my heart, because I don't want them to make the same mistake. This is why Rayven, sister, you and I have to hook up. You and I have to hook up. I have to talk to I have to talk to you about something, sister. Right, so I'm gonna hook you up, and we're gonna reason about something.
Can I ask a question, guys? Can I just pop in? Can I pop in and ask a question?
Go ahead.
We've got Sound Exchange and PPL in Britain and Sound Exchange in America. Is there any equivalent in Jamaica, or is it just JCAP? Because there's the three different societies collect the 3 different types of royalties that are entitled.
Well, in Jamaica, you get Sound Exchange money from America and in Jamaica. Because
but what about in Jamaica itself?
And I'm in France and I'm getting check every month from them.
What about Jamaica itself? When we're talking about radio play and stuff like that, is there a separate society, or is it part of
there are separate societies. There is one called Jams as well, and they are mostly geared towards the producers, whereas JCAP is songwriters and composers.
Yeah, but I don't think she answered your question correctly now. There's different pools of money you're talking about, Chris. One is PPL, and what he's asking for is there a equivalent to a PPL in Jamaica? Do you know what PPL is? Our Sound Exchange?
Yeah, I know about Sound Exchange.
Okay, is there an equivalent to that in Jamaica?
No, not that I know of anyway.
Not that I know of either. Right. And
can I read something for everybody just for a quick second? This change. Collecting agencies Sound Exchange has released a list of artists and the labels it says are owed millions of dollars in unclaimed digital performance royalties. Among them are several dancehall and reggae artists including Aaron Silk, G Mafia, G Wiz, Galaxy P, Ma M Loney, MBC, and the late Garnet Silk, whose name has an asterisk beside his name. This signifies that one or more persons may own the rights to a given work, or the account may not currently be payable. Other reggae artists listed on the company's website, soundexchange.com.
Is there, you don't get anything.
One second. Other reggae artists, other reggae acts listed on the company's website, soundexchange.com, are Natty King, Natural Black, Natty Remo, Natural Vibrations, and Tanya Stevens. According to the site, any artist or label being played on digital streaming service, including internet radio, satellite, and cable radio, have to be registered with Sound Exchange to stake a claim for royalties. Based in Washington, the company is a non-profit performance rights organization that collects royalties on behalf of sound recording owners and artists for non-interactive digital transmissions, including satellite and internet radio. The royalties are up to 3 or more years old and range from $10,000 to $100,000. The digital music industry is continuing to grow, providing recording artists and record labels with an increasingly beneficial revenue stream. We are doing everything possible to make sure artists and labels know that and capitalize on it. Sound Exchange President Michael, whatever his name was quoted as saying in a release on the site, Sound Exchange is releasing this list in hopes of getting artists and copyright holders to claim their digital performance royalties. We want to get the money out to our bank account, out of our bank account and into theirs, plain and simple.
Well, what Rayven could do.
Quote the source of that article, please.
Sorry?
What's the source of that article? Who wrote that?
Post the link.
Jamaican artists could collect millions of dollars in royalties. Royalties.
What Rayven
Cecilia Campbell.
What Rayven can do if she recognize any of the names or she have any contact with these people, you can ask them to, but I don't know, they allowed to join Sound Exchange from Jamaica?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rayven, if you know any of these people in Jamaica, you can do it. I can already know what's going to happen with the Garnet Silk and it.
One thing I like with Sound Exchange, they used to pay like PRS, and now like last month and month before they start pay every month, and that's good. Nice.
Yeah. But like a deceased artist like Garnell Silk, I already see what can happen with that. And I hope
that's an estate that I've heard is a problem. Just like we talked about John Joe and stuff again, I've heard enough stuff about the Silk estate that there's a problem because there wasn't proper contracts, proper producers, proper this, proper that, and it led to big things because he's one of the biggest sell names. If you go on your internet radio or streaming, you're going to hear Garnet Silk, guaranteed.
Yeah, but the thing about it, because he's dead and his mother or whoever is still living don't know anything about the business, I can't see somebody.
Nobody now tell them to.
Tell them I can go see somebody go say, yeah, I'm his manager or something, and go try to collect his part of the money.
Well, and there's another thing too. It's like enough people die mysterious, and then it's like copyrights get thrown up in the air. It's like I don't like that, you know, whether it was foul play or not.
The charity because nobody don't claim it.
There you go.
Yeah, and then me and Chris was talking about last week. I don't think that is fair for them. Keep the money, already collect the money, and say, well, we only going to go back 5 years. We're going to keep the rest of it for ourselves. That's foolishness. They need to pay out all of the money and not only pay out for 5 years. They don't go more than 5 years back.
I tell you what I want to do. Before I end the show, I want to ask 2 questions from 2 of our listeners who are logged in. I have Abidu George again, who's, I think he's in New York. He said, what about if I spend no money to pay him the studio time and he just helps me as a brother, but we have to make a deal when the album is out? So how would you answer that question?
Well, paying for the studio time doesn't mean that you're the one.
Yep.
He says, what about if he spends no money?
Well, I think you should just, the producer are going to take back the money that he spent.
His money is recoupable.
And whatever, and then after, Yanim can do a business.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean because he spent the money in the studio he owns the outright, and then there's a definition between an executive producer, the man who just spend the money, which in 90% of the cases these people are executive producer and not actually a producer who has some creative input that can direct. I need the horns here, and then again that is a different role, which is mostly a ranger.
This seems like
just make a new contract going forward.
What?
Couldn't he just make a new contract going forward for the album?
If there's no contract in place, then yes, you can always make a contract. If there's a contract in place, so one person can say, I don't want to change the contract. Both people have to agree to revise the contract.
So he'll have to make a deal to recuperate the costs of the studio.
Yeah. The procedure is the guy who put up his money. He's allowed no less than 3%. He recoup back his money, and then forever he gets 3%.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, that's the nail on the head right there with the situation I was involved in. The guy didn't know what he's talking about, and so he don't know that he don't own it. The thing is, there's so much difference when he's not really the producer. He's the producer of some vocals as my rhythm. I executive produce it. I put I delay it just on time for his mix. So now I become part of it, and now he's like, oh, I'm the producer. I own everything. It's not true.
No, producer doesn't own everything. How you going
All he did was press it. All he did was press it, really.
Yeah.
And the thing was, they talk about a reducer. This guy talked about pure. It's the worst mix I ever hear, and now I hear it's going big in London. I say, that's a reducer for you, a producer.
Well, they told me that,
no good.
Echo. You remember I was around Tubby's, all that stuff I was doing. All these people like they were saying experiment. He don't know what he's doing. He smoked weed. Tubby's telling you don't do that, man. That weed, jamming in the weed, messing up your head.
That's one of the perfect examples right there. No, because Life even told me, he said one day Tubby's come in and say, yo, don't use the board like that, scientist. And Life just look at him and say, yo, it's like Tubby's just come in and say, yo, don't use the board like this and that. You're using it backwards and da-da-da-da-da. And just Peter just say nothing but badness on him. Don't say no good about what a wicked mix it is or this and that. And Life, no, scientists make the wickedest mixes, Those are classics now. What's a mistake to people, to what might be a mistake to scientists mixing, now has become treasured. And people
that's why you got the name scientist, man.
Yeah, Bunny Lee said the same thing, because Bunny Lee gave him the name. He said he's like a scientist. Even Tubby say, boy, you say, how you come with a scientist, run up in the studio and this and that, and say, Bunny Lee say, watch this to Tubby's. You say the boy's like a scientist.
Let me just come back to the original question, because he's Abdou is saying that the engineer, the person who owns the studio, he didn't spend no money, and from what I can gather from what we have spoken about, the time that you, the artist, okay, spent in the studio, yeah, working on this product in the studio, the total amount of time that it took for you to spend in that studio is the cost that the studio owner has to recuperate.
Yeah, but let me understand something. You're saying that the person who put up the studio time is a producer?
He's just a friend of his. He pretty much, from what I can gather, owns the studio. He's a brethren thing, and he says he can use the studio to do some works, basically.
Yeah, it's a studio, so whatever the studio time is what he allowed to collect on.
Exactly.
Yep.
I hope that answers your
said
question.
that last time. He said, don't do no brethren thing. Make sure there's a contract. He said, because as soon as you have friend, or this was my friend, then 10 years down the line, when it becomes big, then there's a problem.
And this is the thing. I think what Abdou George and many other artists out there need to start doing is approaching this as a business rather than a bedroom
Well,
thing.
Rayven already tell you, when it comes to the business side of it, none of them don't want to hear, don't want to know when them going to show.
What is buzzing in the background? All right, it's gone. All right, yes, sorry, say that again.
Yeah, as
scientist.
Rayven says, nobody's interested about the business side. Everybody just want to know when the next time I'm going to play our gig.
Well, that's it. I have another question from Sharon, who is in Germany. She says YouTube portal is worldwide in Germany. The company who claimed the interest money for producers and artists is Gemma. So certain YouTube videos cannot be seen because of the battle rights and promotion.
Okay, so let's see. Germany. So like Japan and China and the same thing, certain IP address is blocked. So if it's blocked there and the video is not shown in Germany, then there's no revenue.
That's true, because sometimes you'll go and, like, I see a lot with reggae, you'll go and if there's a problem with it or something, you won't be able to view it from some countries. People have sent me links and say, oh, I can look at it, but you can't. That's because it's viewable in your country, because there's obviously a problem in my country with it, or there's a copyright issue or something, you know? Because they'll say right on the screen, not viewable in your country, and you know why? Because there's a copyright problem with it.
I tell you what, we're going to end the show today, and I want to come back to our guest, Rayven Amani. Thank you so much for being our guest today, and I hope this show, gave you some insight, some light to some of the issues that you might be going through.
Yes, a whole lot, so thank you so very much for having me. And thanks to the panel and all the guests and everybody. Thank you so much. Enjoyed it.
We have link, Rayven. We have link.
And
right.
Feel free to anytime you want to come back on our show, you're always welcome. And before you go, we're gonna play one of your tracks, which is called "My Darling." Who is the producer of that particular song?
Okay, the producer is Imperial Bashi. It's a popular rhythm though with a what do you call a knockover.
Okay.
And the lyrics is mine.
Okay, brilliant. So we'll be playing that just before we get out of here. I want to come to Echo Minott.
Yeah, man.
How you been?
Good, my brother.
Listen, I want to share with the world. I know I'm not too sure if he wants me to mention this, but he lost his smaller brother to cancer. So our condolences to you, my brother, because I know you're going to be going over to Jamaica shortly, right?
Yes, definitely.
So accept our condolences.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, man.
Condolences to you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Man, yeah, man.
Also, we were talking just before you came on air about Youth Man. Now, I said it was from Jammies, and Scientist and Dobby-Doo says, no, man, that's not Jammies. So lay that little issue to rest. Who did you voice Youth Man for?
What song?
Youth Man.
Youth Man?
Yeah, man.
I do it for Jammies, but it's not Jammies with them. I don't think, no.
Yeah, there you go.
I recorded it at Tubby's, but Jammies was working with Tubby's at the time.
Yeah, I did the song and Jammies put him on it.
You might have took a voice. Jammies might take a voice.
Yeah, but I know Jammies with him. Everything we only at Tubby's with him. If I know Tubby's at Bonilly.
All right. There we have it. Thanks for laying that to rest. Anyway, I want to thank our guest, Rayven and Echo Minott, and I want to thank the panel for another awesome show. Maximum respect.
Yeah.
Yes, and just reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Rayven Amani on Facebook, and of course, Jamaica's Best Cuban is on Facebook as well.
Rayven, remember to tell them people in Jamaica, and next time if you know an artist want to come on the panel, if you know like a veteran artist want to come and voice some opinion, and make sure you tell them about us.
Definitely.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to let you guys
And
go.
general culture, I'm having guests that are saying, please post up a recording of the program so I can listen to it again.
Most definitely, we will be doing that. I will be putting it on a site called You Listen. You'll see it on our pages and so forth. Maybe tomorrow I'll be putting it on the Stockade page as well. So thank you, everyone. Scientists, anything you want to say before I let you go?
Yeah, well, good to meet up with everybody again. Everybody just keep fighting the good fight. And the only people going to have a problem with what we're saying, I'm pointing out, is the people who committing the frauds.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, Lady General.
Yes, General. I just want to say to the listening audience, you know, we really appreciate you tuning in and listening. Everybody that's in the chat room, Mama D, Mr. Busby, Sharon, guest 8102 6867 3795. Oh, that's Abadou George. And everyone listening on the outside, we really appreciate it. And I just want to say that next show we will pick up with the live performances and set list topic that Fitzroy Francis from 9413 Records is spearheading and couldn't be with us today.
Yes, Christopher.
Great show. I just would suggest to everybody and reiterate that whatever country you are in, join the societies that will collect your 3 types of royalties. And when are we going to have our YouTube channel so that people can constantly go back to the talk shows?
As a matter of
General, we need a secretary, we need somebody else.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a YouTube page, and it's just going to be a simple, YouTube page where, because it takes a lot of time doing these YouTube videos, because these are like 3-hour shows. So I'll be working on the first one, and then as we go along, we'll put.
Well, what you do when you go into bed, you leave it to upload. So by the time you wake up, it's finished.
For real, isn't it? So true.
Multitasking in your sleep. There you go.
Imagine.
Of
Roddy Campbell, over to you, sir.
Permission to go to bed.
Roddy Campbell.
Right?
Roddy Campbell, anything you want to say, my brother? He's gone. Roddy Campbell gone to sleep. All right.
Campbell trying to sleep.
All right, so we gone. Everybody, maximum respect. Echo Minott, Rayven, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure, man.
Hey, one of your Rayven song now, you know.
Oh, yes. All right, let me play the song before we let everybody go. All right.
I will feel that thing, we are done.
Take a listen. She bad.
I see you coming on strong. Tell you that I got a man. It's a still a pearl. What me afraid of him?
Worries and problems.
Sean Weatherman.
Yep. There you go.
I see you coming on strong. Tell you that I got a man. It's a still a pearl. What me afraid of him? Make you overstand. To me is a one-man woman. You better get my drift. Just take it easy, no matter insist. Roll up your spliff and go and take a lift. Or whatever temptation you better resist. Cause never gonna diss my darling, no. Never gonna diss my darling, no. Never gonna diss my darling.
Rayven Amani.
My darling, no. Never gonna
triple bad.
Darling, no. Never gonna diss my darling, no. Never gonna diss.
Everybody love it, don't it?
Yeah. So Rayven, if you say some old school thing, you can put on some lyrics on it.
Yes. That's my thing.
Wicked.
I'm in love with old school.
Yeah, so you know what? You know where you should echo like one of the rhythm there. You, where you have your voice, you just make it the like it's you and she see it like.
Ready for you?
Yeah, we're ready for that.
I know how you are mixing them.
Hey,
we're ready for your heaven.
And I'm going to link up right away. Don't say nothing. I'm going to link you on Facebook and we talk.
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. Please.
All right, I'm gonna let everybody go.
Some top thing I come. General, you get the song that I sent you last night?
Yes, man. We get them. We just download them too.
Yo, General, dub plate mixes over here for General, yo, every time.
Yeah, dozer. Some of them tracks there, I want you to find some random tracks off anything and just send it to our mix to put our vibe.
Yeah, man, definitely, yeah.
Come on, yo. Hey, I just did it. Hey, yo, wicked dub plate mixes for the English, yo.
All right, I'm gonna leave you with this Echo Minott track, and this is Echo Minott, something brand new that he sent to me. Come Again. Tell me about that before I let you go, Echo Minott.
Come Again. That's a song I'm telling you about. It's an eBay sell January for 1,500 US for the 12-inch.
Woo! Jesus.
So this song is this song gonna be my next request. Gonna be available now.
All right. And who did you do it for originally?
I'm Spud, a guy in New York. But there's three people on there with him, me, Gregory Isaac, and Mikey Melody.
Okay.
My song they can't find.
What studio?
Wow.
What studio?
Yeah.
I think it was Philip Smart studio in New York.
Ooh, big up Philip Smart in heaven, yo. Wicked mixer, yo.
Rest in peace, Philip Smart.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Philip Smart, man.
All right, guys, we're out of here, and I'm gonna let you go with this song. What a show. What a way to end the show. Come again.
Boom shot Echo.
She told me come visit her 10:30.
Echo, what kind of rumor that my spread say you lose it and you this or that and you cannot flop?
Okay, guys, we're out of here. One love.
Respect, General, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Good night, everyone.
All right. So once again, we come to the end of another wonderful show. We finally got through to our guests, Rayven Amani, and also the legendary Echo Minott. We're out of here. Please check out the Reggae Business talk show page on Facebook, and we shall give you more information as to when the next show will be. I'm also going to get out of here. One love. I want to thank our conscious partners, Rockers Corner Radio, Tornado Radio, Reggae Wave Radio. One love. This is Stockade Radio.
The Reggae Business Talk Show is a show about knowledge, a show about information, a show where we arm you, the artist, with the tools needed to navigate your way. The Reggae Business Talk Show is a show about knowledge, a show about information, a show where we arm you, the artist, with the tools needed to navigate your way through the music business, the business of music. Sit back and relax and listen. This is the Reggae Business Talk Show on Stockade Promotions Radio.
Gentlemen, we are the Conscious Partners Network. We are Rockers Corner Radio,
Alive.
Reggae Wave Radio,
Alive.
Stockade Radio,
Alive.
Tornado Radio,
Alive.
Kingdom Nubia Radio,
Alive.
E2ON Radio,
Alive.
Afro-Carib Radio.
Alive.
We are raising the awareness of artists across the globe.
Alive.